Evening and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, and welcome to a very special 200th episode edition of Trends in the Housing Market. Yes. Now, guys, a lot of people are going to probably go into my settings, into my show, and they're going to say, well, Mike, it looks like you're on episode 180 something or 190 something episode. It would say that. Why? A lot of my videos got taken down, especially for the Australian housing market. And quite a few videos, like separate videos, I did like independent videos, like 8-minute, 12-minute videos. They have been taken down. Anyways, I bid you good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. The date today is April 8th, 2020, and we're in the worst year of our lives, in my recorded history, in the worst year of our lives, whether you're watching this transmission in the woods, or your box in the sky, or your camper in the middle of nowhere, or you're just bugging out. You are tuned in to Trends in the Housing Market 200th episode. I've been addressing this problem for so many years. Now that the middle class is the working poor now, and everybody moved out of the big cities because they can't afford to live in the cities they were born in. Woo! Oh, yeah. Tig Nim has to do an online church. No problem. God bless. Say a prayer for us here, please. We got, this will be very fun, says Danny Knox. Romeo Bacala saying, Mike, what up? What's up, dog? We got Mark R, what's up? Kevin Tavares, hey, brother. Hello all. And Kevin Tavares' English is very good. I don't know what he's worried about. He could just talk to me in Portuguese if he has to. Congrats on the show. Woo! Thanks, buddy. Yeah. All right, here's the deal, guys. Now, somebody brought up something in the questions here, and then Serenity Now jumped in. Why is construction in BC still essential? Okay. Even if Vancouver's 2 feet underwater, like 3 feet underwater, and you can't mobilize vehicles, construction will still continue. If there's a huge, let's say a huge volcano erupts somewhere in that area, where volcanoes sometimes are prone, and it blocks out the sky, and it starts to snow, and it gets cold, and everybody's in their homes staying warm, the construction will continue. If there's a huge tsunami that hits, and everyone's 10 feet underwater, construction will continue. Why? Because construction is one of our biggest GDP drivers. And it's not just in Canada. It's in Australia and New Zealand and the United Kingdom. All competing for rich investors to come in and buy out the current population. The current population is like, do you know what they tell the current population? Right here, current population. And a lot of these people were voted in. But the problem is, you can't really do nothing because it's out of your hands, right? And that's what happens when you sell out a country. You open for business, but come out and buy our housing and impoverish the local population. That's how it works. So Serenity Now weighed in and said the only product BC produces anymore is condos. Now, you guys need to understand the importance of condos, okay? A majority of them are left empty, which is crucial. And then the ones that are getting left empty, people just leave the city because they can't afford, because there's a strain on the rental system, and people can't, when half of the condo units are empty and the other half are Airbnb, you just do this, look. Padre, Filio, Espiritu Santiago, Amen. It's over. So we got Real Kevin Thompson says housing is important. Jay Smith is why are international students coming here? Okay, Jay Smith, excellent question. Part 2 to housing. We're going part 2 to housing now. So this is good questions. Part 2. Let's go up another level. International students, local students can't afford to go to school here anymore. And if they do, they're taking 80 large for student loans. 80 grand with interest. And you got to pay VIG. You're paying VIG on that 80 grand. You're paying VIG to get an education. After student loans became federalized, back in the day, up until 81, 82, 83, 84, up around that time, you could take a whole year of college and pay $1,700 for the entire year, and that includes your books. After student loans became federalized, they just start giving away money, so they put an inflation on it became an inflation on education. So they just keep throwing money at it. Oh, it's now it's now $23,000 for a year at UCLA, and it's like, wow, for that Bachelor of Arts, whoa, that's going to be like $100,000 to get that degree. Well, that's how it works. Now, the student loan thing, they need foreign students. Australia, even Ireland, little precious apartments they have left, the Irish that own are just giving it to students instead of hiring a family or somebody that could work that actually contributes to the infrastructure and actually pays taxes, right? So student loans, students, the locals really can't afford to go to school, realistically. So what happens? Well, you work, I work part-time. Okay, so you have a taco once a week. Good for you. It's like that guy that told me, oh, Mike, I work as a doctor in Vancouver. Okay, so you're broke. You have no money. He's like, come to think of it, I don't have any money. I drive an 84 Toyota Corolla. Been a family practitioner, physician, pediatrician, and the guy's like 58, and he has nothing. Nothing. Oh, Mike, I'm a doctor. Okay, you're broke. Okay, you're broke. Continue, you're broke. Paying off student loans and all the Mickey Mousing. Spiffy BB says the building I'm was valued at $100 and the property was $2 million. I've always wondered what the purchase price was, but it was bought like 50 years ago. If it's worth $2 million and it was bought 50 years ago, it was probably bought for, and it's worth $2 million today, it was probably bought for $54,000. $56,000 maybe. Lord Humongous is laughing in the comments. So now, the housing. Hey, locals. And then, wages haven't moved in like 50 years. Oh, Mike, I got a raise. Yeah. How much is it? Does the cost of bread cost what it costed 50 years ago? No. Does a loaf of bread cost 3 cents? No, it's like $5. Yeah, your raise. You know what it means? Right there. So, I just want to be realistic here with people and call spade a spade. I had a good friend on from China, from the interior of China. And he was telling me, every time I watch your show, Mike, and you bring up what's happening with foreign investing and what's happening with the CCP and the evil, all this stuff with the thing, he goes, I'm like watching you like a basketball game, Mike. It's like this. Mike says this. Oh, he just scored a three-pointer. Oh, he just did a free. What a layup, Mike. Good job, Mike. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying, yeah, Mike, you're 100% on the ball. But nobody addresses these issues. That's why I've done 200 trends in the housing market for people to understand. Solid Extra says, happy Passover. Yes, happy Passover to everybody. Happy Easter. Happy everything, guys. So, Jay Borg saying, housing market 200. Congrats, Mike Martins. Thank you. Bread is like $2 to $4 per loaf. Are you in the States? Well, it depends what kind of bread, right? But I'm not going to get into that. Like okay, a bottle of ketchup is like $5, right? But if the bottle of ketchup was the same price that it was in 1956, and you're still on the same wages you are, you pay 11 cents, 12 cents for a bottle of ketchup, you're good. But the problem is, that's not the point. The point is, wages haven't kept up, okay, to inflation. It's so simple. Inflation, wages. Hey, I can't afford to eat Kraft cheese and macaroni. I'm going to eat the box that comes with it. And you think I'm joking? Because it's going to happen. Oh, Matsky said Toronto Caravana canceled. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, you're in New York City. So 3 to 5 $2 to $4 is like $7 Canadian. Yeah, that's still expensive here. That's still what I was the range I was in, Canadian dollars. And that's like $2 million Australian. And that's like $10 billion in Australian and Mexican pesos. Anyways, guys, sorry about the rant. I just wanted to come on here and kind of throw something together. But here it is, guys. So go to the channel, guys. Guys, I know you guys are in lockdown. So if you want to support the channel, go to here. I'll show you what to do. Set your reminders. Go down. Go down. Go down. You can watch all the trends in the housing market videos that we've been doing for the last friggin' 5 years. Or you could watch some business talk videos. And if you want, you could watch my Project Tabletop. I made this video series, and I took the old drug den. There was an old drug den in town. And with the old drug den, I'm going to put the playlist in here. Oops. Let me refresh that. The old drug den in town, I converted it into... I converted the old drug den into a game store, what I have today. And I would like for you guys to watch that if you don't mind. It's only 9 episodes long. They're like 9 minutes an episode. Really worked hard on making that series if you guys want to support the transmission. Also, there's been building a game store. There's another store I built, and this one was a few years back, right? But if you want to watch that, go ahead. And if you want to go under playlists, the Merit Harassment series is so good. I've been under the gun. I've been, like, harassed for 3 years straight from a guy in town because I opened a business similar to his, and I didn't get permission from him to open in town. Watch the series. It's Merit Harassment series. You will love this series. Trends in the housing market. It's showing 189 videos. They did delete a few of them. So I think I'm over 200 because I went through it after, and then there was deleted, and I had so many deleted videos. I'm way over 200. I think I am way over because I think I got like 35 videos deleted. I'm also on Patreon if you want to buy me a coffee. I really appreciate it. It's right here, guys. If you guys want to go on Patreon, you could spend $1 a month and buy your man Mike a coffee. And you could also buy a Lord Humongous mug. He's in the comment section. Lots of cool swag here for the shop. From the shop, we got Supreme Cannon stuff in here. This Mike in the Night shirt's pretty pimped out. Check it out. You could also send me some show tips here on Facebook if you have any show tips you want to share. And I'm also on Instagram. You could send me show tips on Instagram too. I get notifications. So there it is, guys. If you guys want to send me anything on Instagram, go ahead. And you can always send me a tip on PayPal. All links are on top of the channel. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here, guys. Trends in the housing market. Woo! All right, so let's go over Bloombergie. Bloombergie's here, and let's see what they say. RBC chief says banks, Trudeau government discussing relief steps. So they're going to bail out the banks. They're going to use our money. They're going to use our money to bail the banks out because the banks did so many bad loans and lent out money to people that couldn't afford to pay it back. And now a lot of these people will go bust. But the people that didn't play this game need to pay for it. Oh, yeah. Trudeau bends to pressure, changes rules on 75% pay subsidy. Oh, because he's going to pay more people that are off work. I wonder if that's public or private sector. CIBC grids for surge of small business loan applications. Borrow more money. The banks love it. Very lucrative business, my friends. Mike Banks says, unfortunately, I pay taxes until I could figure out a better solution. Mike Banks, you need to start offsetting your capital gains, okay? So you can carry over losses, right, buddy? So talk to your accountant and say, look, I'm paying a lot in taxes. What can I do? What can I offset it with? I want to rub out some of the tax that I owe. That's all you have to do. Talk to an accountant. He could spend 5 minutes with you, and he could tell you how to rub off any capital gains by something else you're working on. You could be working on a side business that's costing you money to do, and you could rub off any losses on the side business on any capital gains, and it gets carried over next. If you don't have any, you could carry it over, right? So we got TD has moved 9,500 call center agents home. Some may stay there. Okay. So what? Job reports show ground zero of COVID impact in Canada. So this is it here. Job reports show ground zero of COVID-19 impact in Canada. Policymakers will be paying close attention to Canada's March jobs reports for an early look at industries and workers who took the first blows from the pandemic-induced shutdown. So, there's a gender story. I thought they were going to put that in. I thought they were going to leave that out. Thank God. March job losses will be unlike anything we've ever seen, says Citibank. There's their great, our leader. Rather than having to show 30% decline in revenues, he says they can show 15% decline in March and compare their revenues to the previous months rather than the previous year. Would that work? Not really. It can. No, I don't see that working. Okay, Air Canada hopes to rehire 16,500 workers via wage subsidy. Most would stay home. So they're going to keep people on the sidelines. That's dangerous, man. When you're paying people to stay home, that's not good. We got Just Cringe Diversity Channel, 2-time world champion here in the house. Very good channel, guys. Don't forget to check to Just Cringe Diversity Channel. He is in the comments. And if he does a show, maybe I'll go on his channel if he wants to have me as a guest to talk about... he doesn't have much good things to say about our great leader here. COVID-19 jobs tracker layoffs, furloughs, and hiring during the pandemic. What you know about CERB, Ottawa's new income replacement benefit, $71 billion wage subsidy appropriate to keep the economy afloat, says Monroe. $71 billion. That's like a zillion pesos. Temporary laid off due to COVID. Here's what you need to know. Let's move it on up into the next one. So we got the Australian markets open still right now. And Australian housing market's going to take a nice punch in the gut. And everyone's complaining that they can't go out and bid on houses and then take a property that's realistically worth 206 grand and then pump it up to like 2.4 million. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, keep up the good work. Yo, we got Stephen Williams in the house. I haven't seen him in a while. Stephen, dude, how you doing, man? It's so good to see you. I'm gonna add you as a moderator on the channel. It's so good to see you, man. Hope you're doing okay, man. I saw your video. Stephen Williams, guys, can you please check out his channel too? He put up, it's not letting me open his channel from this chat. Go to his channel. He did a video last night of parts of the GTA, driving around, showing all the emptiness in the areas, or Niagara Falls. I think he's in Niagara Falls. Showing all the emptiness everywhere and what's been going down in his area. I should get him on the show, hopefully for trends for Mike in the Night this Saturday. Hopefully we could top last week. We got 16 guests on from all over the Commonwealth. K-Pax is saying, Mike, love your live shows, Mike. I love you too. I love you, K-Pax. Thanks for coming here. Lord Humongous says, Mike Banks, I thought you were going to buy a piece of land and go that route. It's Canada, Lord Humongous. I think Mike Banks lives in Canada. Okay, in Canada, the problem with that is buying a piece of land, property tax, zoned, Red Robins, there's Blue Jays on here, it's a conservatory, the owner should have told you can't build on here, all this Mickey Mouse. Buying a piece of land in Canada, you might as well try to, like, invent, get one of, those portable washrooms? Start rigging it up and bring a portable washroom home, rig it up electronically, and create a portal. Walk in it and then end up somewhere else. You have a better chance at conceiving at something like that than buying land in Canada. It's the biggest. I've looked into it, then this, and then taxes, and then you got to pay this curbside fee, this fee, Mickey Mouse. Oh, you want to build a house? That's 600 grand. But to build that same house in Arizona, 90 grand with better material in Arizona. Right here. All right, let's go here. We got Mike Banks in the house. The only people buying land are drug dealers. You people need to wake up already. Yeah. Money launderers. That's it. Oh, we got Lord Humongous. Yo, Lord, what's up, man?
And I was watching another channel though where like there's a couple and they have like a small island or it's somewhere remote off of like Vancouver
Sure.
where they have to like row a canoe or something to get to their and they have like a little yurt. You know, it's basically like a little yurt house that it's like way back in the woods, like nobody can get to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if living there for free or whatever, but I don't know, man. You guys, you had a friend that had a piece of land. I mean, how much did he pay for that?
No, I'm just being sarcastic, Lord.
Oh,
I'm being sarcastic. In America, I could buy land right now in Arizona on my credit card right now in the
yeah,
States.
but how much does a piece of land cost in Canada? Like let's just say a lot size, like 7,100 square feet or 14,000 square feet.
How many are we 1,000 miles away from a major city, or we're like 200 miles?
Even 200 miles.
Okay, 200 miles outside of a major city, you're looking at about 85 to 140,000.
I'm getting some playback through the Skype, Mike.
Huh? I think you have to lower your volume on your end.
All right.
So you're looking at about 85 grand, 200 miles outside. The only way you could get a piece of land in Canada is if you go 1,000 miles out of the city, away from another city in the middle of really nowhere where you can't get electricity or running water. And basically, you'll have a municipality up your, you know what, so
Yeah,
deep.
We deal with that even here in the States though. It goes back to the building codes and their stupid enforcements and their zoning laws, which are just a bunch of tax, trying to drive up tax rates so they can get more money for the local community. It's all a big scam, man.
Boxing
Really
Creates Confidence is saying it's over 200,000, Mike.
really.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not like you guys, Lord, you guys have no idea how free you are. You have no idea, Lord.
We're not as free as we should be.
Right, but you could work at 7-Eleven realistically and still live a decent life if you really had to. If you really were smart with your money, you can. In Canada, you need to work at 3 7-Elevens, and you need a roommate, and you need to share a room and a bunk.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it all boils back to money printing. It's a worldwide monetary problem. It's not one particular thing. You know what I mean? Like there's so many sectors that are involved. I was just watching another YouTube channel about the guys that actually program the markets, right?
Hold on, wait. You were watching another YouTube channel? You're cheating on the channel?
You know
I'm
me,
just joking.
I got to do my research, man.
I'm joking, dude.
But these guys are called quants, dude, and what they do is they're quantum programmers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the clowns that have printed these algorithms, and it's designed to steal from anybody that participates in a market type, electronic algorithm, high trading frequency system. So, 99.9% of the people are going to lose money in the stock market because it's designed that way. And then on top of it, you have these other idiots like the plunge protection team that goes in there daily and they can rig the price of whatever they want on any particular commodity or stock.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the freedom in that? So this just goes to show you how corrupt the actual money system really is, and that nobody's really going to make any money because all these corporations are tied to that stupid stock market too.
That's correct.
And the bonds. It's just it's like one big circus show of the top 1% criminals printing algorithms into computers, playing with funny money, and trying to dump it on the rest of us as it's the real economy, which the real economy has nothing to do with any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to also talk about is that there are alternatives if you were to buy a piece of land. Let's just say you could in Canada.
Okay.
You can do alternative systems for electricity. You could do solar systems with batteries. Which are much cheaper.
Some in Canada you need to get, like in some districts or some regions you need to get a license for it.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You need to get all kinds of permissions. For
Well,
me
you
to
know,
put solar panel in my housing, I need to get a permit from the city. The city needs to approve it. The city needs this. The city needs that. And it's that's how it
you,
works now. Nowadays, you don't do what you want on your property. Heck, if someone breaks into my house and I have to defend myself and my family, I'll go to
yeah,
jail for protecting my family.
it's unbelievable, man. It's so tyrannical. That you Canadians don't even see it. I mean, your system's
Oh,
even worse.
I see it. That's why I do this. Watch this. Don't blink.
Right, but I'm saying the majority of people just don't get it. I mean, they just really don't see the fraud and the abuse that's going on daily on everybody through, the
Mhm.
very monetary system that we're all forced to use. That's the sad part. I think Canadians need to get together with some pitchforks and torches, man, and start
The thing
making.
is with Canada, one, we have a great leader. Two, we have crown land. So I don't know if you know this, Lord Humongous. Australia, New
Yeah,
Zealand,
I know
Canada
all.
has
Yes,
crown land. So it's part of the crown, the queen.
yeah.
So we can't build on crown land.
So what kind of queen is that, man? That she puts up all those restrictions where, she probably rarely ever visits those continents like Australia or Canada.
No, I think her grandson, that guy, Henry guy, I'm not sure who he was, paid like millions of dollars in Canadian security of our tax money to protect him because he didn't want to live with the queen, so he moved to Canada or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, Prince Harry. I just
Yeah,
saw
hold on.
that.
Prince Henry, I got a fart. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, now you can see why I'm anti-royal, dude.
Hmm.
Anyways, I just thought I would chime in with that real quick, man.
All right, Lord Humongous, I'm happy I made you laugh, dude. I'm happy I made your day. Oh, I'm going to
Right.
send you a board game. Just tell me which one you want.
Oh, is that the Illuminati original game from 1996?
The
You got that one?
1996 ones I have two of them in storage though. That's not the one. That one you saw is the remake from 2011 because
Oh,
it was
really?
yeah, the cards were getting outdated. The art was old and stuff, so they
How
kind of
much do you
redid
want?
it a bit.
How much do you want for the original one? I'll give you top dollar for it.
No, you don't have to give me nothing. Just let me wait and see when I get the mug in and other stuff, and I'll mail it out to you.
Right. I got a couple items for you, so make sure you have your return address on
Oh,
there.
I'll give you my address later. It's no big deal. Or you could just go on my channel. I was doxxed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You
I
just go
consider.
on YouTube, you find my channel. I called YouTube and said, well, they put my address, my family, and this and that. Oh, no, that's nice.
I'll
They said
send
to
it
me,
to you.
that's really nice. I'm like, oh, I'm just
Yeah.
keeping a list of what's nice, so forming an opinions and stuff, and I'm just going to continue like that.
Right. Hey, well, you know what, Mike? You might be in the right business because all the game stops are shut down. So, that might be an opportunity. There's always opportunity in downfalls too.
I know, sir. That's why I keep my eyes open and my ears and eyes open and my mouth shut.
You can open a Merit. You can open another Merit game store here in Denver, and I'll run it for you.
Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. You find a strip mall that's less than 20 miles from your house,
Yeah.
and you could go ahead and tell me what the lease is. Maybe once this all this boogaloo stuff disappears, I'll come down and check it out with you, and we could maybe discuss something.
Sounds good, brother. All
All
right.
right.
God bless.
God bless you. You take care.
All right.
Bye. All right. You don't mind going to Denver, finding a strip mall. How much is the rent? $850. Okay, here, last month's rent. Let's put up some shelving, make a new YouTube video series. I already built 50 stores on my channel. You can watch them. All right. We got Just Cringe. Okay, let's go back here. We got Gary Medeiros in the house. We got Richard Davis in the house. Then we got Just Cringe Diversity Channel. 26 Gunter in the house. Got all kinds of people. Solid Extra in the house. The Kennedys were built in hardship. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Let's go. Let's get my friend Craig Cook on the show, and he's going to tell us what is happening in Nueva Zealandia, New Zealand.
Hey, Mike.
How are you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm a lot better. Thanks for calling. That was quick.
Yeah. So, how are things in New Zealand? Are you? I know you're in. Are you still working or you're locked down? I forgot.
Oh no, we're still in lockdown. I got my benefit through. It's a wage subsidy, but really it's a benefit.
Good for you. So you don't. So you
Yeah.
could get what you need and get things rolling, right?
Yeah, because I spoke to you before, and I've spent a long time getting out of debt.
Hmm.
Good 7, 8 years. So I've got my living costs pretty low, but I'm quite used to it, living on a shoestring.
Hmm.
But
You
things
know
are,
what? We're gonna have to grind through this. 100 years ago, it was a lot harder to go through something like this. And, now with all this electronic and all this moving around and printing off money and stuff, it's made it easier, but it's also impoverished us.
yeah, I tend to agree with you. So I've written down here, I've got my notepad, what you wanted to talk about. Yeah, job losses, housing, and economy.
All right, let's look it up here. Hold on, hold on. I got a few articles here. I'm gonna kind of jump in here with you. Okay, let's find here. So, guys, we got the markets open right now in New Zealand. Let's see what they're sitting at right now. Where are the markets in New Zealand? The New Zealand, let's go with start off with the Australian market because the market's open for another 3 hour and 32 minutes. It is Thursday morning there. All awards at 5,369, up 110 points. The ASX 200, 5,313, up 106 points. The Australian to US dollar is down 62 cents. You might see a 60-cent Australian dollar by the end of this financial day. Oil up $26. Gold 1683. There we go. Australian, New Zealand dollar around par, 103. And the
Wow.
NZX right now is down 20 points, sitting at 10,000. It's over the 10,000 mark, so it's not too bad. The Nikkei is down 58.29. The Hang Seng is up 241. The DAX is down 23.81 at 10,000. The Dow Jones closed strong today. Today's still my time today. 23,433, up 779. All right, so let's go over to our first New Zealand article here. I found one here that was really good. I think you sent me this one. New Zealand dollar further material declines. So what's going on? Tell us what's going on.
Oh, well, there's a couple of things that are going on, and I was listening to you before. There's a couple of things I'll go back into, but we talk about the job losses.
Go ahead.
They're talking now that it might be up to 100,000 job losses, and that might not sound like a lot, but we've got a pretty small country. We've only got 5 million, and we probably got 3 million working, and then the rest are on benefits. We have quite a
Okay. We got coronavirus. New Zealand could face up to 10% unemployment following COVID-19 lockdown. And for, like you said, that's about 850,000 New Zealanders.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot. When you take that out of 2.5, 3 million, that's like a third of the workforce and the tax base gone. So but I've noticed the last couple of days, because I've been watching your show for a long time, and the official narrative has been, no, it's okay, everyone can afford it. No, and they really preyed on that FOMO for buying a house, and house prices always go up. And it seems to me that there's been a bit of a change from the powers that be in regards to, well, the emperor's got no clothes on, so we should really, we should acknowledge it. So, in the news stories I've seen on my smartphone, it's going to be worse than the Great Depression, and there was an article I sent to you about 100,000, and then in the paper today I saw one that said that over 70,000 Kiwis have applied for mortgage help with the banks.
That's right. 7,000 New Zealanders have applied for mortgage help.
Yeah, 70, like 70,000.
70 large, yeah.
Yeah, 70 large.
So where's Phil Tyford and all this crap? Did he disappear?
Oh no, he's been real quiet. Yeah.
Do you think he's in jail?
Oh no, he won't be in jail. He's probably sucking on the taxpayer's tip, like all of them. But so the housing, like you were talking about Canada, and you have all these rules and regulations, and we have the same thing here, but
of course you're part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems in Auckland is they have a policy, they call it ring fencing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you came to New Zealand, you'd see there's plenty of land, but the problem is, because of the laws, you can't build outside this so-called ring. So if you go 20 minutes from where I'm living, over the hill there,
Yeah.
that's farmland, and that's zoned for farmland. So you can't actually build a house there, you see?
Oh, I got some good news for you. You know, in Canada, we sold off some of our prime farmland, okay?
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
lower mainland where we could grow sometimes all year round. And guess what?
Yeah.
We sold
Oh,
it to foreign investors 100 times over value.
bargain, mate. It's a
And guess what they
bargain.
built? A house. A house. One house. A mega mansion.
Oh, it's just hilarious, isn't it?
Let me see. Here in Canada, at least they don't protect our farms. Farm sells. Let me see if I could find it. Farm sells in BC 100 times over asking. Let's see if I could find this. If it's still out there.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. I wish I was making this up.
No, I believe you.
Maybe it was 90 times over asking, but all right, continue. Tell us.
Oh, so yeah, the ring fencing laws, and of course the council laws and all the fees. Like my auntie, they bought a house a few years ago, and they've had it, and they thought, oh, we'll subdivide it. It's quite big. It's like an acre, which is, I think it's 1,000 square meters.
Okay.
Now, so to subdivide that, you essentially sell the back property off for someone else. Cost them, I think it was $100,000 in council fees.
And council fees.
Yeah, council fees.
Oh yeah, because they got to fix their boat.
Yeah.
They gotta buy a boat. How do you think they're gonna buy a boat if they don't charge these council fees? Probably some clip-on tie loser that walks in there, scratches his butt with a suit he bought somewhere in some secondhand store, shows up once a month if he's ever there to sign 2 papers, and there's $100,000 right there.
And don't forget the clipboard. You gotta have the clipboard.
The clipboard and the clip-on tie too. Okay, ready for this? You're in for a treat, Craig.
Yeah.
I found the article. Farm in Richmond, great. BC sells for more than 100 times its assessed value. People thought I was lying about that.
Oh.
Property sells for $9.2 million despite being assessed for $85,000.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Richmond Farm, rich family from China, and they're making, a lot of people are angry because that farmland was used for other stuff, and yeah, and it's really, it's nice. It's nice that it was sold out, and then now the problem we're having now is whatever this farm produced is no longer producing, so we got to import it in from China, but we got a problem. China's got COVID.
Yeah, that's a real problem. I think the world's too connected, and another problem here is for years they've told us in New Zealand, well, essentially you should be grateful you've got a job because we have a low wage economy, and which is great because that means people come here and can set business up.
Business.
And
New Zealand is about going there and buying your houses and leaving them empty.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so they, with the rich investors coming over, they come over and they set up a local takeaway shop or whatever they do, and you can employ someone local to run and work in your takeaway shop for next to nothing, and so we've got a low wage economy. If you're an international business, you can come here and you get cheap workers. You know what
we should do? Let me throw this out there, Craig. We should go to China together and try to buy a piece of farm and see what happens to us.
I think we might end up in the gulag there, Mike.
I'm going to go in there with the Bible in my left hand and say, I'm Roman Catholic. They'll be like, okay, step into this room, sir. And I don't even think they'll let us in the country, to be honest with you. They'll probably hold us or something.
Yeah. So no, it's an interesting time, and like I said, the the emperor's got no clothes, and I think people are starting to wake up a bit. And, we're in for a lot of pain.
Paul S in the comments actually brought up something very crucial. 200 flights went out of Wuhan. We are doomed. So Wuhan, people are fleeing to the airports if they could get out, and they're coming to the Commonwealth near you.
Here they come. So no, that's about all I've got for you today, Mike. But thanks for calling.
No, I'd like to have you on the show, and give us an update on what's happening in New Zealand. Just keep brushed up. Just brush yourself up every week on what's going down, where, how.
Oh, definitely.
And when we need a New Zealand update, you could always come on and be our New Zealand. You're from Penal Colony 1114, right? New Zealand is Penal Colony 1114, right?
No, that's the Australians. We came out here to fight the Maori, and we were lied to.
Oh, we're Penal Colony You're Penal Colony 1115? Because Canada's 1111, and the UK is 1112, 1113 Australia, and 1114 is New Zealand, Penal Colony 1114.
Yeah, I think you mean Wuhan 2.0.
No, that's Penal Colony Z24.
That's right. That's right. And of course, the other thing to mention,
yes,
really quick, is
probably
the last 10 years we've had a massive spike in social problems because of low wage.
Yes,
low wage,
listen. Bathrooms are so important, and we need to start a social war over the bathrooms and who uses them and who could use and not use them. Okay?
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about gangs. I'm talking about gangs and drugs, and because a lot of people are looking at it and saying, "Well, gee, I can go to work for $18 an hour, and or $19 an hour, and get my full $500 a week." And that gets me a room in a flat for say $200, and then I spend $100 on food, $80 on petrol, or I can join the gang here and get whatever I want. So,
wow.
And then, of course, the official narrative is, oh, well, we can't figure out why there's a big problem with gangs and such an increase in drugs, especially P and methamphetamine. Really? It's like watching it's like being in a Monty Python skit, if you like. if you get me, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You know what? We should start a gang in New Zealand called Los Locos. I'm going to show you guys a video, a 12-second clip of Los Locos.
Use me for a living.
Great.
Los Locos kick your ass! Los Locos kick
All
your
right.
ass!
And the other thing, the supermarkets are now where it takes about 2 hours to get into the supermarket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 2 hours to get in the supermarket?
Yeah, 2 hour wait. My flatmates were going, because I share, I'm in a flat, I have a room in a flat, I share a house.
Uh-huh.
So, he went there at 6:30 in the morning, and it took him 2 hours to get into the supermarket. And some people were talking about camping outside the supermarket to get in.
You got to get out there with your camera, dude, and say, hey, look, I'm here from the Mike Martin's channel. They're like, who the hell is that? And you tell them, just don't worry about it. What's going on? Why are you camping outside the supermarket? Why can't you just be like a normal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll do that, actually.
Why not? Who cares? What are they going to do? Put you in jail for talking to somebody?
Probably.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, Craig.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And you stay out of trouble. I don't want to hear you screw up again, eh? You take care now, okay?
All right. I'll talk to you again. Thank you, Mike.
God bless you.
I'll watch the show. I love it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That's our man, Craig from New Zealand, bringing some sunshine to the channel, some light, some ambience to the channel. I like that guy. So here it is, guys. We're going to start a gang called Los Locos. Here they are. This is our intro.
Los Locos kick your ass! Los Locos kick your face! Los Locos kick your balls into outer space!
I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, let's go back to the comments here for a second here. Lost Canuck, no more pizza or pasta for Tom Hanks. Yeah, I know he's very sick. Something's happening with him. I just saw that on a clip there. Just Cridge says, LOL, you could imagine those fellows up against the MS-13s. I can't say that full here on the channel. Red Pill Millennial says, hi, guys. Boxing creates confidence says, holy cow, young group on comments. Boxing creates confidence. You'll probably be proud of me. I've been actually hitting the bag quite a bit. Stance, proper footing, proper shifting when punching. Doing pretty good. Been hitting the bag, practicing my karate, my katas, getting into shape. I got gnawed on another channel, destroyed on another channel because I was fat. So, Quark Nog saying JT is a dream come true for large corrupt corporations. He is a vegetable that will do whatever they tell him to do. Lord Humongous says Canada and US merged together and Jack the Crown. Yeah, I always wanted the Great American Manifest Destiny to happen. We've already lost our health. Our health is deteriorating here. So what's left? You know what I'm saying? Timothy Kronik says, what's the news with Tom Hanks? I'm gonna look at it in a second. Toby Cooper says people think they can just walk right in and do whatever. All the best to the New Zealanders. And then we have, oh, it's a trigger word. Yeah. Yeah, Toby Cooper's on the money here. We need number Johnny 5 to push a narrative. You should do a video series on YouTube algorithms. I can't even read, and I'm going to figure out YouTube algorithms. All right, let's do this one more time before we get into some important stuff here. So we're going to start a gang in New Zealand, and we're going to call it Los Locos.
Los Locos kick your ass! Los Locos kick your face! Los Locos kick your balls into outer space!
I just kind of wanted to throw that out there again. Puts a little bit of humor. Guys, you are tuned into the 200th episode of Trends in the Housing Market. It's probably 210 because I lost so many videos. Comments are moving. BC Matrix finally in the house, joining us with a nice cold one. He's probably having a nice cold one right now. Tom Hanks is in jail, says the Lost Canuck. Really? Yeah, Second Amendment is a right, not a privilege. And if you want to know, or if you want to discuss the Second Amendment, go back to the First Amendment. And from the First Amendment, go back to the Second Amendment and repeat. Just go through 1 and 2 all the time. And it's an infinite loop. Spiffy VB saying people die waiting for Canadian healthcare. Gary Medeiros saying he's good. Aquarius saying woo. That crazy Raven. And then says Lord Humongous. And Anthony D is saying, I couldn't find anything on Tom Hanks. What's with him? Guys, leave a link in the comments if you don't mind throwing a comment in there, a link to what's happening. I have no problems, guys. You see how none of the comments are being flagged right now because no one's swearing? It auto flags on YouTube, and then people call us like we're doing, like we're the N-word, nah, that word. Anyways, I want to bring this up again. Farm in Richmond, BC sells for 100 times over assessed value, valued at $85,000. And whatever was grown on there to feed the people in the local area. Padre, Filho, Espírito Santiago, Alemin. Kiss you goodbye. Ooh, look, he's taking the wax out of his ear. Holy crap. Wow. I don't know what these advertising is up for. All right, we went over a bit of Australia and New Zealand. Let's close this. These 5 staggering estimates for weekly unemployment claims show just how deeply the COVID crisis has damaged the U.S. economy. The census economists estimate that 5 million Americans filed for unemployment insurance last week, ending April 3rd. The report will be released by the Labor Department on Thursday. During the week ending March 21st, 3.3 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits. And the following week, 6.6 million more files, bringing the total to nearly 10 million in just 2 weeks. E-Bank, you in the house? Hi, how are you, my brother? And Stephen Williams says, had to take a call, but I'm back with you. Dude, you missed the whole Los Locos thing, man. We're organizing here, Stephen Williams. You gotta scroll back a bit, because we're organizing things in New Zealand. So Fractional Angler says he's fine, he's just recovering. I thought he got this COVID thing like a month ago. How is he still recovering? Adrian Toronto saying, where's the Raven lately? Haven't heard from him. He's taking a break for a little while. He needs to kind of, he's got a few things he's got on the go, and he's got to completely stay off the radar for a while. He's got to stay two steps ahead of everything. So hopefully he'll come back next year. Okay, we got people, comments going through the you know. All right, let's move on here. So that's what's happening in the United States of America with the Business Insider. Once we get the real job numbers this quarter. Good news, Ottawa boosts student job wage subsidy to 100% as March unemployment data expected to shatter record. So I guess job numbers could show more than 500,000 jobs were lost this month. The federal government, this is in Canada, is beefing up a program that encourages businesses to hire students for summer work by promising to cover 100% of the costs. That's really good, actually, in a way to get more, I guess, people to create, when you, creating experience. It's kind of good, but it's, I don't know, it's not really going to help because we're going to pay it back. The goal to create 70,000 jobs for young people. Ottawa estimates the cost of the program will come in and around $263 million. Oh my God, Stephen Williams sent me $10 on Super Chat. Thank you so much, Stephen Williams. That means a lot to me that you dropped $10 here tonight. I hope you get your money's worth, my friend. Lost Canuck says, Mike, the condo company in Toronto. And Real Kevin Thompson says, house prices are just on hold, guys. 26 Gunter says, Bill Gates said no more mass gatherings until the world is vaccinated. I wonder who put him in charge. I didn't vote for him. Did anyone vote for I was going to say Tom Hanks. Did anyone vote for Bill Gates to be in charge of the planet? Anthony D says, I think this COVID crisis in China will cause more of them to buy up Canadian real estate and completely take over more than they've already. Then that's it. Then we're left with Crown land. That's it. Oh my God, somebody sent me $20 Australian. That's our man right there. Timothy. Wow, thanks, buddy. $20 Australian. Wow, that's good, guys. I appreciate that. So thanks, Stephen. Big up yourself. And, we got Supreme Cannon in the house. God bless you. Thanks for coming. Adrian Toronto says, hello, Supreme. We got Bird 718. Screw Bill Gates. He is not suffering. Yeah, people with like a financial lens need to stop dictating to people who are in a different financial lens than they are, and stop telling people how to live or stop telling people what to do, because financially you're not these people aren't structured like Bill Gates. They're not structured like Rachel Maddow. Woo! Dave Sabrini sent me $13.99. Man, I just made enough money to get myself to downtown Detroit. Oh, wait, I don't live in Toronto anymore. Or Miami. If I lived in Miami, that'd be enough gas to get me to Orlando from Miami Beach. Kevin Thompson is saying, Mike is killing you. Living the Dream is sending me a thumbs up. Sanjay is saying, we are in northern Cuba. Stay home and eat rice and beans. I was in every state in Cuba. I've been to every state in Cuba when I went for a long extended travel, except Guantanamo area. They wouldn't let me in that area. Like, you just can't get in there. But I've been to all over Cuba. like everywhere. I even got lost for like 2 days. I had no idea where I was. They're called technocrat mics. They're called technocrats, Mike, says Blunt News. A month supply of TP, Mike. Yeah, that would give me... I'm just looking at what I could get gas-wise with this super chat, gas-wise. It wouldn't get me to Seattle from here. 20, 30, 43, 44 bucks. 44 bucks from here will get me to the American border in gas. Like if I don't speed and stay in the speed limit. All right. Ottawa boosts student job wage subsidies 100% as March unemployment data expected to shatter record. So again, another front here that's falling. We already covered this. New Zealand dollar further material declines. New Zealand is in a lot of trouble. Remember, we had our friend on, Craig, who was telling us that New Zealand, remember, it's a population of 5 million, right? And New Zealand is very, oh my God, Timothy Crook. What the heck, man? He sent me another $20 Australian. Dude, relax, okay? That's enough. Timothy, you cannot send any more Super Chat for the rest of the year. That's it. You're finished. Send me Super Chat January 2021 if we survive this effing whatever is going on. Thank you, Timothy. So that's enough. Now that's enough gas to get me to Blaine. Hold on, Blaine. That'll be enough gas to get me to Blaine because the price of gas is down. It'll probably take me to... Here, let's open a map of where I'm at. I'm in Merritt, BC. Let's see how much gas... That gas money. How much can I get there? That's 63.9. Here, I'll show you where that could get me. Right here. That will get me... Right here. Let's zoom out. Oh, look. First thing it says right here, Tim Hortons. All right. Let's zoom it out. That will get me... 63 bucks at the price of gas right now. That will get me to... It would get me up here, this highway here. Okay, let me zoom it in so you can see it better. It will get me up this highway, so I would leave my house on this highway here, stay the speed limit, and then jump on here. I don't have to go all the way to Vancouver. It would take me down to 11 to Washington, across 560 and the 590. It would probably get... Yeah, it would get me to Bellingham. So right now, someone sent me enough gas. We have enough gas money that was sent to me to get me to Bellingham, Washington right now. From where I am right now. You know what, guys? I promise you. When this... No, I'm refusing money from our man here because... Timothy, because he's over the limit. Captain Nobody says, I live in Canada. We're effed. Help. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But no, that will get me to Bellingham from where I'm at, and I'll have to fill up there. So one day, I promise, I'm going to do a live stream, okay? I'm going to collect X amount of money in Super Chat, okay? I'll do like a 5-hour live stream. Whatever I could collect in Super Chat once this virus disappears, I'm going to take that money, okay, exactly that money, and I'm going to drive somewhere. I'll take my family, right? I'm not going to go alone. And I'll drive somewhere with that Super Chat money, and I'll show you how far I could get, and I'll make videos. Okay, guys, I'm here. I'm $40 down in gas, and like I'll actually make a whole video in parts, driving, and I will make a video. I'll probably go with Supreme Cannon. We'll just take Highway 5 and see how far we could go. We'll do a 5-hour like raising money event. We'll take Highway 5 all the way down to Highway 10. And if we make enough, we'll take Highway 10 across to like Phoenix, or just keep going. Just keep going with the Super Chat money. How far we could get in Super Chat from one fundraiser. And we'll just use that for gas. Steven Sewell in the house. Dude, you're missing... Steven Sewell in the house saying hello. Hello, Mike in the house. Stephen Williams. Guys, don't forget to check out the Stephen Williams channel. It's not letting me open his channel, like on this side here. Damn, I'm gonna have to look it up manually for Stephen Williams. Here we go. Let's do this. All right, let's close this. We already covered that. All right, we covered that. Goodbye. Let's go to the Stephen Williams channel. Let's do a plug for Stephen Williams. I really like him a lot. He's been on the channel. He's actually on my intro, to be actually honest with you guys. If you want to see Stephen Williams, like right now, he's right here. Go to the intro on my channel. Hold on. Why is my intro coming up? You go on my intro. He's on there talking. Let's find good old. I was watching his channel last night, so it should be there. It is. I should be caught up with. Yeah, there's no more. I saw all his videos. Here it is. This is the video I saw last night.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, you know, life is a game. It is just a game, and you gotta know how to play the game, eh? Yeah. So the big boys control the game. They have made their move to shut down everything in the name of, you know, the thing. Oh, see another one here, another business for sale. Yeah, and it's not even, I think we're gonna be seeing lots more of these.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, these are like, what was this? It was a bakery and cafe. Yeah, we're gonna be.
And there's an apartment upstairs there on that place. Like, that place has an apartment up. You could have the apartment upstairs and have, look, there's like 2 storefronts here. Hold on a sec, guys. Let me just bring this back. There it is. Look, there's one entrance here to the apartment upstairs, and there's an entire storefront. You could open a toy store there. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So that's Stephen Williams' channel. I'm actually gonna put this video here for you guys. He's going around different areas showing the shutdown, strip malls, schools. I'm gonna back this out. Stephen Williams show. Man, he's got almost 15,000 subscribers. There it is. Stephen Williams' channel, almost 15,000 subscribers, and he's going strong. And Costco long line. Wait, let's watch this.
This is Costco. This is Welland.
What?
Off our wait.
The thing goes all the way to Montreal.
Did I press? Off our wait. Look at this.
Half-hour wait. That's like 2 days.
Get food. Everybody is lining up to get food because of what is happening. So when we talk about the situation, it's no joke. Yeah, look at how long the line is. Stretch all the way.
Oh, is it going
down
across the
there.
street? Holy crap, it's going across the street. Dude, this thing's going to Manhattan.
Look at that.
As of now, Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's right. So see.
Let me just wet my beak here for a second.
This is frightening. Look at this shit. Look at that. Are you serious? Oh no.
Dude, that thing's going all the way to Staten Island. What the heck? Thanks for the promo, Mike. It was actually a 1-hour wait.
Oh no. When are we gonna get through?
We can't meet you in the line.
There he is there. There's the champ right there. That's my bridging right there. Well, at least he stocked up.
This is how far we have to stay, man, from our grocery.
Wow.
Wow.
But the packing guy is not 6 feet
that's
away.
my grocery there.
Well, maybe he is. Oh, he gets into BG here. He gets into BG. I don't think Steven likes BG too much. We'll call him, you know what we'll call him? We know we'll call Bill Gates. We'll call him BG Covey. Link Bridge just sent me $3.49 New Zealand dollars. Great show, Mike. Have a beer. Yes, I will. I don't really drink, but yes, that right there is probably going to get us to Olympia, Washington. I'm going to do a show, guys. Well, it won't be this summer. It won't make sense to do it this summer. We're going to do like a 5-hour show when there's stupid Covey's gone. I'm going to raise X amount of money, and I'm going to drive with that. I'm going to drive with that money only and see how far I could get with it. Who's down for a road trip with Mike Martins, man? Okay, final warning, great controversy. What's going on here with this?
Hello everybody, welcome again to my channel. Not gonna be long. This chapter in the great controversy is entitled The final warning.
Oh, I don't want to spoil that. That looks good. Final warning. This is really good, guys. Don't forget, I'm going to put his link in again here. Please support his channel. Get on there and watch some of his stuff. He reminds me of Barry White, kind of more, hey, what's going on? You know, kind of like more like a Barry White. Smooth. All right. Extra 1.4 million Australians out of work in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. 3.92 million. 27.4% of the workforce now unemployed or underemployed. And here it is, guys. Here are your books. Wow. There's percentage for underemployed and unemployed. Yep. We got this already covered earlier with our friend from New Zealand. Covey, New Zealand could face 10% unemployment following COVID-19 lockdown. And that's pretty big. Thursday's unemployment claims could match last week's 6.6 million. And that's in the United States of America. I hope America could hold itself up. I really hope America could, because it's our last bastion for people living in Canada looking at property prices versus wages, like all the stuff, like a normal life. I lived in Miami for like 5 years. I know, you know what I'm saying. All you have to do is get a job in America. Steve the plumber in the house. The housing market is declining right now as we speak. Yes, it is. It is, Steve. It is, Steve. In the middle of the day, waiting in line. So, Financial Angler, where are you? You're in the middle of the day waiting in line. Where are you? Are you in New Zealand or Australia? Craig Cook is saying, hi, Supreme. Sanjay is saying, where, Steve? Steve the plumber says, this is only the beginning of the correction. Well, yeah, it's going to start like this. Okay, it's going to start with the housing wars, which we've been covering here for so long. We've been at war with housing for so many years on this channel. 200th episode, affordability levels, Mickey Mouse government measures to make everybody afford a home, and then they enslave them. And then it becomes the government Covey strikes back, right, to correct things. And then it's return of the true Canada, or return of the real America. So house wars, Covey strikes back, and return of the real Canada. Maybe my prayers might be answered. Craig Cook is saying we pay like 60 cents on every dollar in tax. Yep. You get paid on your wages. You pay on anything you buy. You pay a whole pile of it on carbon tax and everything. It doesn't end. It's all Mickey Mouse. Episode 200. Thanks for that big Portuguese energy. Oh man, you know how it is, man. Steve, can you come on the show and give us a rundown? This is the 200th episode. If you don't mind, Steve. It's our 200th episode, and I think you should make an appearance on here. If you don't mind. All right, let's Thursday's unemployment, we covered that. Let's move on here. Alberta unemployment likely to surpass 25% because of pandemic, Kennedy says. So here's the deal, guys. Let me this guy was saying that they're looking at 800,000 people will get infected by COVID. But in Ontario, it's tapering off. We got 4,000 cases. It's going away. Why is he saying why is he saying in Alberta is going to get about 800,000 cases, and Ontario's already solved the problem? Financial Angler saying in Mississauga. Oh, you're in Mississauga. I'm sorry. I thought you were, because you're saying it's the middle of the day and you're waiting in line, because right now there it's 8, 9, 10, it's 11 p.m. there. So... Better dwelling. Vancouver detached home prices are flat, even with a 24% jump in sales. You're going to see sales go up quite a bit because there was like 200 flights coming out of Wuhan and today. So you're going to see a lot of properties sell in Vancouver and Toronto area. Gary Mededa's in the house. He agrees that things are going to get messy by pseudoscientist who basically is saying that. And yeah, Steve, call in. Yeah, I haven't spoken to Steve like in a whole week. That's like not normal. Greater Toronto detached real estate prices rise on low volume. And that's usually what happens when things start to deleverage and move around. And Canadian insolvency filings approach 2010 highs as growth accelerates. So insolvency, more and more people just can't keep their head above water. So, Just Cringe Diversity Channel is saying, cheers, Mississauga. We got, Anna Key. Hi, Mike, in self-isolation too. Banks and governments will ensure housing stays healthy, populations be damned. Anna, I know I asked you before, if you could come on Mike in the Night Neck my Saturday or Sunday afternoon, give us an update on what's going on with your self-isolation. I know you live on a piece of land and you're okay, but let us know. You know, you told us about the fires you were having in Australia. Now, let's find out what's going on. By Saturday, you probably have some stories to tell us. Kevin Thompson should buy your kid a house first, and then you should call in. Steve the Plumber, yeah, sure, Kevin Thompson. And my wife, okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that on the show. All right, so insolvencies. Not good. And why, woo! And people are like, Mike, why are you wooing with the insolvencies? Why are you taking on debt you can't pay back? Why are you taking on debt you can't pay? Oh, I thought my job was secure. Nothing's secure. Stop thinking that everything is always prepare, create safety nets. Canadian insolvency filings approach 2010 highs as growth accelerates. Woo! Why? Because you didn't use your brain. Taking on more debt than you could afford. That's what happens. Trying to compete with wealthy investors, that's what happens. Financial Angler saying, been watching been watching you for a real long time, Mike. Been a subscriber for a while. Thank you so much. God bless you. Boom, bubble, bust, repeat. I want Mike Martin's branded coffee. Name it woo coffee. Lord Humongous says central bank must collapse. Real Kevin Thompson says, bye, guys. Okay, Kevin Thompson, you don't leave the chat until we give you authorization. No one's giving you authorization to leave the chat. I'm going to make myself clear here. Yeah, eBankU, let's get this guy on. eBankU, can I call you, buddy? Well, let's find out what the heck is going on in Japan. We'll get an update from eBankU. What's happening in Japan? Are properties going up for sale? Are people defaulting? What the heck is going on there? Jobs? Are you still open for business? We had you on 2 weeks ago and everything seemed okay. It was open for business. Here, let's call somebody in Japan, guys. Oh, he's not online. I hope he didn't get arrested. Cody Z says, woo, coffee, I'm down. Yeah, so Mitch Madden, right on the money. Only a fool will buy a house in this environment. Right there. Good. Kevin Thompson's still in the comments. He needs authorization to get off the chat. He just doesn't. I'm leaving this chat. It doesn't work like that here. This is Canada. All right, the spin-off. Here we go. COVID crisis coming. First home buyers with mountains of mortgage debt. And insolvencies going up. What made these people think they could compete with foreign money? $200 billion laundered in Canada in 4 years through Canadian real estate. $160 billion in Australia and $83 billion in New Zealand. And over 303 billion in the United Kingdom. How are you going to compete with that as a local peasant? Unless you start a cartel or something. We got Aquarius in the house. Craig Cook is laughing. 200 episode, guys. 200 episode. Kevin Tavares na casa here. All right. Financial Angler, Humagor, Thompson, Steve, Justin Crinch cannot leave until Mike grants permission. You know, I'm just kidding, guys. We like to play around with Kevin Thompson in the comment section. Please do not. Please go ahead and, you know, talk to Kevin Thompson. He's been on the channel for many years now. All right. So let's move on. Fletcher Building executives take 30% pay cut after pressure from staff. You're going to see this a lot. This is happening in Australia. But don't worry, construction's still going good. Construction is essential services. That's what keeps our GDP going. Make apartments and leave them empty for foreign investors. Woo! All right, guys. Let's get into we're in the part of the show now where we're going to jump into Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. Canada would be in a recession if it wasn't for money laundering. So this is the segment of the show where we're going to make a little jingle here. It goes like this. I don't know why it's taking 40 minutes to open a page. I could be in Atlanta by this thing. I could be in Georgia by this thing. Come on. What? It's not even letting me open the money laundering page? What is it, broken? Okay. So this is the segment of our show where we give grace and to our great leaders for selling us out to the highest bidders. Welcome to the new segment of the Trends in the Housing Market show called Canada Would Be in a Recession Without Money Laundering. No, it's not me and you that's doing it because we'd be sitting in a jail cell. We'd be in a jail cell if I did it, or Lord Humongous, we'd be sleeping in a cell. But because foreign money washes ashore, we need that for our GDP. Our GDP keeps going up because we're selling out our country to the highest bidder. Over $200 billion money laundered across Canada in 5 years. The amount of cash laundered over a 5-year period tops a couple of $100 billion. In 2015, the model estimates over $41.2 billion. Cash was laundered up 9% from 5 years ago. This represents 2.13% of GDP. Yeah, this represents 2.13% of GDP. Yeah, so this is a new section of the show. We need to discuss all this billions of dollars laundered in Canada. I have a better one. World would be in a recession if world would be in a recession. I'm a good singer, guys, so just calm down. World economy would collapse if the city of London stopped laundering money, says HSBC whistleblower. $440 billion laundered. The world economy would collapse if it wasn't for criminals. Thank you so much, criminals, for keeping this profit economy going. Selling out everything we have. Okay, we got this should be a singing cartoon in business school, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, I love China, dude. Where the hell's that thing? I love China. Let's get this soundboard open. I'm so I'm so excited, guys. You know that. All right. Okay, I love China. Where are you?
I love China.
Oh, I love China, dude. I love China.
I love China.
China is going to basically destroy the world, or this world is being destroyed by the coronavirus, and
Mexico
is going to pay for it. Okay, can we add sound effects? I just did. Captain Nobody, we are not flagging your comments. It's an auto flag thing that's here from YouTube.
the United States of America.
On the republic for which it stands. All right, let's keep going. Guys, don't forget to check out the Stephen Williams Show. Please check him out. All right, let's go back. Seattle, a coronavirus chills Seattle's red-hot real estate market. So, again, what happened with Seattle real estate? Why did it double from the tail end of 2017 to 2020? Why did it double so fast?
I love China.
It's because of?
China.
Not?
Mexico.
I'll tell you why. Vancouver puts the foreign buyers tax on, like a percentage, and foreign buyers weren't going to pay that. They went down to?
The United States of America.
And the?
China.
Bought up Seattle. And there's so many empty units, and I've covered this already. All the luxury units are owned by corporate numbers. If it's a corporate number, no one's gonna, if they track it back to Chu Wan Fu, they're gonna know, oh wait, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? But they track it to corporate numbers. Coronavirus is in
China.
It's gonna ruin the world, and
The United States of America.
and
Mexico.
is gonna pay for it. All right, let's move on. You guys, you're tuned in to the 200th episode of Trends in the Housing Market. The Oregon Disable Ad Blocker. Okay, fine, I'll do it for you guys. All right, I'll do it for you guys. Refresh. All right, they're just like, I hope I get dating site advertising. Nope. What kind of advertising did they give me here? It's not even like bikini girls or anything. What is this crap? Anyways, Portland area renters landlords brace for uncertain spring amid COVID outbreak. This was sent to me from someone in the Oregon area that's been watching the show for like every episode of Trends in the Housing Market. And basically they have these stickers up on their window, or these papers up on their window that says they're on a rent strike. They're on a rent strike and they're not paying rent. Lindsay Smith was skeptical in early March when her friend in Spain warned about COVID. Parts of the European country were on lockdown and there were talks about nationwide order. Smith, a preschool teacher who lives and works in the southeast Portland, couldn't imagine something like that happening in Portland. Well, it's happening, guys. Smith was able to defer her rent payment for April by providing her building manager with a letter from her employer explaining she was laid off due to the COVID outbreak. And it goes into saying renters like Smith, as well as landlords across Oregon, are worried how they'll make rent and mortgage payments as the COVID pandemic has rocked the state. Over past 2 weeks alone, more than 168,000 Oregonians have filled out unemployment claims. So Oregon was hit with the housing crisis because a lot of foreign investing went in there, and housing went up above the 400K mark. And once it reached the 400,000 mark, everybody was fleeing Oregon, moving east to Arizona, Salt Lake City, Utah, Nevada. They were moving to other states. It was just too expensive. 400,000 was a tipping point for Oregon, and we covered that a few times here on Trends in the Housing Market. California prisons on soft lockdown. Prison nurses must work overtime. So this was sent to me from somebody who's actually having to deal with this right now. California has launched a 14-day statewide soft lockdown in its prisons amid the coronavirus, told exhausted prison nurses that if they are ordered to work 16-hour shift, they must comply or face reprisal. Wow. So you got to work 16 hours, and if you don't, you're in trouble. What does that sound like?
China.
Yeah.
I love China.
So, you know. Okay, here it goes. Supreme Cannon says, Corona Chan bikini contest. Then we got Cody Z saying, me too. I am not paying my utility bills. Woo! I live in the dark. David Xavier, my man. Supreme Cannon, did you stay at home all day or you went out for some fresh air? Spiffy BB is saying, that's good. Your ads aren't bad, Mike. That means your Google ads are following you. Following a good guy who does not on those kind of sites. That's true. Captain Nobody says, Chinese buffets, I'm really gonna miss them. You know, that's not real Chinese food. My wife took me to a real Chinese food restaurant because my wife speaks Mandarin. And she took me to a real, like, Chinese restaurant in Vancouver. It's like, everything's in Chinese. The menu's in Chinese. You don't even know what the heck you're doing there when you're sitting there. And they come up, and then I just tell my wife to order for me. And the food is really good. Like, I don't even know what the heck I was eating. And I asked my wife, what are we eating? She's like, she tells me in Chinese what we're eating, but I go, what is that in English? She's like, I don't know if there's like how to explain that in English. It's like, so, and the food's good. Like, it's really good. But you have to eat authentic. It's like Portuguese food. You want to eat no one's like, what Portuguese food? There's some good food coming out of Portugal. So thank you for sending me that link. And U.S. housing supply already sees hit from COVID. So there it is, guys. 2 weeks prior to COVID, March 11, about 14% of respondents said that the U.S. was in a recession, and the share of consumers holding that belief jumped to 36% in the 2 weeks after March 11. The survey polled 1,800 consumers nationally. God bless America. CEO of London Middlesex Community Housing resigns. So you're seeing people now in different communities resigning because they just can't. They can't make ends meet. The budgets don't work. Nobody is building housing for affordable housing. Everyone's building housing for profit. If they build housing for profit, or GDP goes up, construction goes, we could charge somebody $600,000 to build a house when you could build the same house in Arizona for $60,000 with better material. And I'm willing to take that bet, and I'll go down to Arizona, find a piece of land, and I'll build a house for 60 large, American. And I'll show you guys why does it cost $400,000 to build the same house in Canada. Cleaners are affected with COVID. Ford asks families to celebrate Easter. Well, I want to celebrate Easter. I've been watching. I was watching that Jesus film there on Netflix. So here's Kevin Thompson, what he was saying. UK housing market on hold due to COVID crisis. That's in Halifax in the United Kingdom. London, Britain's housing market is largely on pause due to the government's COVID lockdown, which will make it hard to calculate price changes, but it's soon to gauge the long-term impact of mortgage lender in Halifax said. So we got a flat month in March. So you're seeing it all over the Commonwealth. Can't rule out 30% fall in house prices. So this is coming from out of Australia. The number of unsold homes ballooned in March as demand softened among buyers anxious about the worsening economic fallout of the pandemic, the latest SQM research data shows. The amount of properties that have been sitting on the market for 30 to 60 days surged 122.37%. That's a huge deal, guys. Now, we're going to start seeing an oversupply on the market. So, I'll just say this in Spanish in case people don't understand what's going on here. La cantidad de las propiedades que está por el lado en el mercado más de 30 hasta 60 días subí 122 porcentaje. Very important, because when that happens, don't make me say this in Portuguese, guys. This is actually a big deal. This is how you start to see an oversupply in the markets. Mike, check out this guy's channel on YouTube. It's not letting me open the link, buddy. What's going on? What are you sending me here? See, I keep getting this. So, guys, I can't open other YouTube links. Oops, something went wrong. The reason why they're not allowing me to open YouTube links via the chat is because of, what do you call it? Copyright stuff. Anthony D has put up a really good comment here. Chinese love to buy entire floors of new condo developments. That way they can park their millions and there is no damage to the entire floor. The entire floor kept brand new. Yeah, that's what's been happening. My favorite is when Vancouver launched 3 big towers. It was 2 years ago, and I covered it on Trends in the Housing Market, where they were launched the condos, but in Shanghai. So in Shanghai they had the building towers, like in plastic, for people to see and buy the floors or whatever. And they were making fun of us in Canada, saying that even the locals can't afford to buy it. Go ahead and buy it and leave it empty. They were making fun of us. But they're forgetting it's the European powers that's behind a lot of this construction. That's behind a lot of this infrastructure. And guess what's happening to the Europeans? They're going back to Europe. Once this COVID thing wraps up, a lot of people are taking one-way trips back to Europe. We got Financial Angler here in the Rice RCYBRK. Try that, mate. Hold on. Let me see, buddy, what that is. Is it in YouTube? Is it a channel? Nurses normally work 12-hour shift 3 days a week. Not sure now, though. Oh, a lot of we lost all our nurses. They all went to Florida. Like, a lot of the good nurses are in Florida now. They went to Ocala, like that girl that was on my show. Went to Ocala, bought a house for 180 grand, a 4-bedroom with a pool. Is this the channel here? I'm not sure what this is. Is this your channel, Steven? It looks like it's clips from everywhere. Oh, it's got stuff from our friends over at Info thing. I can't say it here because I could get shut down. Here, I'll put a link in the comments here if you guys want to check this out. You guys could check that out. I don't want to get in trouble, man. I don't want to get in trouble. I gotta follow the rules, they say. So here it is. We are going to start to see an oversupply in the markets. The smaller capitals also recorded a huge jump in older listings compared to February, with Hobart rising 76.3%, in Brisbane 59.96%, and Perth 61.9%. The entire country is for sale. In another 6 months, you'll see like an oversupply on the markets that you guys have no idea. So 30 to 60 days to February, 20,000 national. Now 30 to 60 days to March, 35,000. Look at this huge uptick in listings, oversupply in Australia. You might have a fire sale in Australia real soon. I'm not talking about real fires. I'm talking about huge clearances. Mike Martins called Steve the plumber. All right, let me get Steve the plumber on here. I don't know if he's going to pick up. I don't know what he's doing. I'll call him. Where's this guy? He's under my favorites. Did he block me? Steve, did you block me on Skype? Oh, somebody's calling here. Hello?
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. I just liked your sarcastic mood today. It was amazing.
Oh, I know you did.
Okay.
So we got our man from Japan in the house.
Yes, you do.
And he is going to weigh in on what's happening. What's going on, dude? Like in Japan, we're hearing a lot of mixed signals. They're saying it's business. It's back to business from what I heard yesterday from the news. Is it in lock? Tell us, you live there. Tell us what's happening in Japan.
Well, to put it simply, they cannot lock us down. They can only suggest us to be locked down. So they're recommending that we stay home and we stay safe, but it's up to the people to listen, because in the Constitution or whatever they have here, they cannot actually make you stay home. So, and whether people are listening or not, there's a lot of people in Tokyo, right? 30 million in a city, so it's hard to control everybody. But that's what's going on now. So they cannot officially do it.
So are you still working at your business, your school?
Nope, I shut my school down for a month. Try to be nice. I did it a few days before they actually made the announcement, so I look good there as well. But you know, some parents still want me to do it, some don't. Everybody has a different opinion. I mean, the odds of getting it are pretty low, but still, I don't want to be responsible for somebody getting sick and somebody dying, you know, just in case.
Me too, with my business too. I just shut her down for a couple of months and I'll be back, and that's it.
It's not worth it. It's not like I'm hurting for cash anyway, so.
No, it's not. You set yourself up good. You made the right choice. You left Canada, so you're a Canadian, right? Born and raised, right?
That's right. Vancouver.
And you got fed up with Canada, Vancouver, and you moved to Japan.
Yep, I got fed up of Canada. I got fed up with the Chinese. I'm sorry to say, just too much.
Yeah, and then now Japan's got some new white bread. So you're there. Yeah. You set yourself up. You own several properties in Japan, and you're doing well. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I got lucky, man. It's not like I planned to come to Japan originally. It was pretty much the attitude anywhere but Vancouver, because I saw Vancouver going downhill, and the way the Western countries were. They only cared about the bottom line and their cash flow, you know, for the rich. The regular people lose out big time. Especially that globalism kicked in. That ruined everything. So, you know, when everything is made in China and then everybody in Canada buys everything from made in China, and then China takes those profits and buys Canada, how can Canada win? It's game over. It's only a matter of time. You know, right. You don't own your own land. I mean, the only people laughing are obviously the government, who get the taxes from people, and that's why they don't care if prices are down. They want them all to be as high as they can. So they collect as much as they can from people, paying taxes, for the property taxes, that is. So, what are we? We're nothing. So basically, I got lucky to find a safe haven in the world that's still kind of like Canada was 30 years ago. You know, it hasn't gone crazy here. It's been a depression here for 30, 40 years, right? Since the 90s.
Oh, hold on. I got some good news. Cody Z just said in the comments, 3 friends in Victoria were all slapped with $5,000 fines after they were caught playing video games together in a lounge room, despite not living in the same household.
Yeah, they can't do that here, luckily. They cannot do that in Japan. So, I mean, people are out and about all the time. That's pretty insane in Canada. Even if you got slapped with these fines, how can you actually pay them? Do people have $5,000 kicking around? I don't think so.
Nope. People are $400 away from going completely homeless.
It's pretty bad, man. So this Corona thing is actually a good thing, because hopefully it wakes people up, like as a society as a whole, you know, so they can actually fix stuff.
Fix stuff and come together and be more, I guess, considerate to others in a good way, you know, like instead of just being considerate because you have to be, you actually consider it because you humbly want to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's gone from people, man. They think, what do you want? You know, as soon as you're nice to somebody, what do you want from me? No, I just want to be kind. You know, you take them out for dinner. What do I owe you now? Nothing.
Yeah, that was, you know.
It's a different mentality, and I'm not used to that. I don't like it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me when I was single and dating in Vancouver. A lot of women would just want to go on a date with me so they could have dinner.
Free dinner?
Free dinner. And then after they would ask, and then I'd call them and they would be like, well, I found somebody better. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing you can do, man.
Oh, it's good, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have never met my wife, right?
Yeah, you never know what God's plan is, or the plan of life, or karma or stuff, you know? Stuff works itself out in the end. But as for something fixing itself in North America, the biggest problem is land and real estate. So if that doesn't fix itself, nothing will. You know, once that is fixed, everything else will fall into place, because businesses cannot operate because they cannot afford to pay rent. You know, when
I
your
love
biggest
China.
expense is rent and you're already in the hole every month, how can you operate a business? And when people need a place to live, you know, so that's the only problem, is real estate and the price to pay every month that you're paying out of your pocket to live. If you own the property and you own everything, then you can get away with stuff other than taxes. But once you don't own anything, you are screwed for life, you know, and you can't even buy anything. So
Yeah, it's like getting in is almost impossible.
yeah, it is. It's impossible. And once you can't get in, you're out. You know, it's really bad in all the
Japan.
Western countries. Now, like you said earlier in the show, America or USA is the only place that you can actually work at 7-Eleven and get by.
You can,
possibly.
but you got to work, right? And it's not that hard. Like, I mean, believe me, you need that. People need that self motivation. People need that forward drive. People need, you know what I'm saying, to create goals. One, like you did. You created all these goals. You set them. You accomplished them. And look at you now. Whoa, Dave Sabrani sent me $3.99. We got to tally up all the super chats and see how much gas that would get me.
Is that $3.99 American?
Canadian.
Or is that $3.99 Canadian?
Though, if you add it to what I got already, I have enough gas to get to Olympia.
That'll get you to the end of the bus stop.
Oh, no. With what I've collected all day.
Oh, all day?
Yeah, I have enough gas to get to Olympia.
What's with today, man? I guess 200 episode. You're getting a lot of donations.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are
Awesome,
coming on, and some gratitude by.
It's your sarcastic attitude they love, man. It's amazing. It's the way you got to be.
Well, if I say it how it is on a normal tone, it's going to sound like a boring financial channel. But if I sing it, did you hear that song I said about?
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
It's the best song ever.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, America, you still have a chance over there if you don't get shot. That is, but you can
get shot
actually
anywhere,
work somewhere.
dude, realistically, anywhere. And
True
when I
enough.
lived in the States, I felt more safer than I did than in some parts of Vancouver when I was living in Vancouver.
Oh, really?
I had a lot of people like just want to pick fights for no reason in Canada, like no reason.
In Vancouver, yeah, attitude wise. I mean,
Yeah,
you could still
attitude
run.
wise and entitlement.
Yeah, attitude and entitlement. You know, you don't give them money on the side of the road when they're begging from you. It's like, no, you get a job, buddy.
Yeah, it's like one
No,
day I was
entitlement.
out with another friend, and he's Colombian, so he doesn't speak English, so we just talk in Spanish, right? And then we're waiting in line in a nightclub, and then this guy that's like 6'9" turns around and looks at us, and then his girlfriend pulls him away. Stop it! They're not doing anything. And then he looks at us. He goes, "I'm gonna stick your head in that shit on the floor there, the dog shit, if you don't stop talking in Spanish."
What the hell is that?
Yeah, well, that's the deal. Right? He could say that and get away with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Attitude.
you know, like I don't know, but that's
You never got that in the States?
never, ever, never.
People were more open down there?
Dude, I went
guess
to
in
like
Florida.
reggae nightclubs, like Jamaican reggae nightclubs in South Beach, and I was the only white guy in the whole building, and nothing happened.
Better attitude, I guess.
It's different. It's like it's not what you see in movies, and Mexico is not what you see in movies either. Mexico has a lot of infrastructure, highways, airports. They have like even pay toll highways. They have all kinds of stuff in Mexico: super malls, strip malls, beaches, like tourist areas. Mexico could be better than Canada in the next 5 to 6 years if this housing doesn't get resolved here in Canada.
Yeah, there's no point living in Canada other than a passport.
Mhm.
You know, that's the only benefit of being a Canadian is having a passport and saying you're from there.
Mhm.
But actually living there sucks.
It's
You know,
tough.
and
It is tough. I live here. It's tough. But I bettered myself. I'm 200 miles away from the major city. I bought my house at a reasonable price. I didn't put myself in debt, right?
Yep.
And I'm raising my kids like in the old Canadian style, like small town Canada. You know what I mean?
What did you pay for your house? 200 something?
260.
And how much is it worth now, do you think?
I got the assessment. It was like 410.
410. Wow. And what does the rent go for in your area?
For a 1-bedroom apartment is like $800 a month.
How about a house like yours?
Oh, the whole house?
Yeah,
Like 1,600 a month?
1,600. Wow.
Yeah.
So
for a
you're
whole
not even
house,
make.
it's like, yeah.
So to actually invest into a house there and rent it out, you cannot make any money, is what you're saying. It's still hard.
Right.
The return on investment is not good at all.
Unless
It's better
you own
than
the house
better
free
than
and clear.
Vancouver, but yeah, well, obviously, but I don't look at it like that. I look, how much am I paying for the place and how much am I getting each month for it? And so Vancouver is even worse. I'm assuming.
Oh, Vancouver's horrible. There's a lot of people at a negative. They're in the negative position right now every month. They're paying like $400 or $500 a month out of their pocket with the renters' rent every month to keep it going.
Oh, just because of the mortgage, yeah. So my friend, his house costs 1.6 million, and he's renting it out for I think 3,500. Yours is 400, so that's 4 times. And yeah, so his is doubly worse than yours. Obviously, if you can get what you said for your rent for your places, if it's at 410, so it's better in your area. But still, it's hard for investors or people who want to buy properties to make money there. You know, even if you buy it straight out cash.
Real estate now isn't anymore for investing. Real estate is for foreign people to come in and park their money. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a safe haven. That's all it is.
It is a safe haven, and hopefully it goes up. So the only way to screw them over is if the property values actually drop half.
And that's what we've been forecasting for 200 episodes here on this show.
How many more episodes do you think it's going to take before that happens?
I say about 6.
6. I mean, realistically and logistically, it's supposed to happen, but it seems like the system is so rigged that it won't for some reason.
Well, mathematically,
like so hard.
If our economy was on autopilot, it should have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, of course. That's obvious. It's common sense. So what do?
You move to Cuba.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to leave. When people ask me, so how do I invest in Vancouver or Canada? You don't. Here's what you do. You buy a ticket and you leave. And you make a life elsewhere, because there is no point. If you cannot get ahead where you're living, what's the point of living there? I don't care how nice the place is. There's no point.
It's very not that nice. Everyone's so rude and just very, again, when I was there, everybody is very, not everybody, like a majority of the people are huge entitlement levels.
Yeah. So then there's no point at all then. But I'm saying, like, say you went to a place like Greece or Thailand where it's just gorgeous to be there and it was overvalued. So what you do is you don't live there. You go somewhere else and you get rich and you save up, and then you come back and you buy when you're rich there, you know. But Vancouver doesn't have any of that.
No.
Other than having freedom, you know, so-called freedom, which actually you don't have because you're debt slaves, like you said.
Right.
So,
invisible handcuffs, debt load.
And yet still people brag about it. Is it really hard for people to admit the truth? Or are they just so surrounded by it that they're not aware of it? I don't understand what the issue is, because I live in Japan, so I can see the bull crap that's going on over there. And you obviously see it as well. So what do most people think over there?
Well, I saw it that's why I lived in Mexico for 2 years. And when I lived in Mexico, I saw what was happening in Canada. It's like, holy crap, you know, like.
So you had to leave to be aware of it, was what you're saying?
Not really. I knew it was bad. That's why I went to Mexico for 2 years.
Okay.
Right? And that's why I went to Miami for 5 years, because I was just sick and tired of working 6 months, 7 months of the year for the federal government.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, right?
Yeah. No, it didn't feel like that's what it was like.
Yeah. And so what made you come back, though?
Well, I applied for citizenship in America, and then I did everything by the book. I got a company to sponsor me. I did everything, and then we had to run an ad to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. We ran a 6-month ad on 5 different publications, or 6 different publications, to make sure I wasn't stealing an American's job. Then everything got approved. The company went through. Everything went through. I was going to be a technical director for a major production facility there in South Florida. And then after that went through, everything was golden. And then I went to the interview, and they said that I'm not what they're looking for right now to apply again in 5 years.
All that effort and all that time.
Yep. I paid a lawyer over $5,000 to get that done too.
Wow. So because of that, that's the only reason you came back to Canada. If it wasn't for that, you'd be in the States right now.
I'd be
doing
living in
night marks
Miami
the
Beach right
States.
now.
And you wouldn't even have, but then you wouldn't have your channel because you'd be living in prices that were actually realistic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was looking at buying a house for 177 grand.
Yeah, and you'd be buying more houses and you'd be renting them out. You'd be pretty much doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like 177,000 per house is still kind of reasonable. What's the rent go for down there though?
It depends. It depends if you want to be east of 95 or west of 95. So if you're east of 95, you're looking for a nice one bedroom, anywhere from $660 to $900, but a nice one, like it's nice. Like what $5 grand will get you in Vancouver. You don't rent in Florida. You just buy a place for 120 grand.
Yeah, of course, because it's cheap enough.
Yeah,
obviously. If you're renting, you're obviously doing something wrong. You know.
Yeah.
What is it? What does an old beat up condo cost there?
Oh God, if you're west of 95, you're looking at maybe 40 grand.
Okay, same as Japan then. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
because that's what it's
do.
worth.
That's what you do.
Right.
Your first thing you do is you go out, you buy a condo for 40 grand, and you work at 7-Eleven. You build your life up, you save your money, and then you move up from there. You know,
That's
I don't
the whole
like
point. But Canada
I don't
sold
like
out that
condos.
whole middle class.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like condos, but for your first property, it's okay because you're basically not pissing away money on rent anymore.
Right.
And you're putting it towards your growth. And you can do that in
Japan.
Tokyo or Japan. You could do that in
Japan.
the States.
Mhm.
But you cannot do that in Canada. There's no such thing as a 40K condo in Canada.
No.
400K.
No, 400 large, no way. A 40 large, no way. 600,000, yes, in the major city for a one bedroom.
I wonder what my condo's worth now.
Oh, in Vancouver, the condo you're in the condo you live in Tokyo.
No, the one I used to own in Vancouver. I used to have a condo near Commercial Drive.
Oh, it's probably like $4 million now.
4 million.
I'm being sarcastic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Japan.
I bought it for 70, sold it for 170, and the last time I checked, it was like 400 or something. I was like, oops.
400 large, dude. You know what you could do with that in Colombia?
Yeah. You could buy Colombia.
No. You could buy a really nice home in Colombia and a huge like land to export bananas.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yep. All right, listen, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to see if I can get Steve the plumber on the show. I really appreciate you taking your time to call in, bud.
No,
And
Mike,
we'll have you on, Mike.
You don't let me go. I let you go. That's how it works around here.
Woo! No, and I need you on Mike in the night if you want to come in and give us a Covey update.
Okay.
Because I know it's still Thursday there, but Sunday is when would be for you would be Mike in the night when it's my Saturday would be your Sunday. Maybe there might be something happening by then.
The last Covey update I know is that they were closing the city on Saturday and Sunday.
Tokyo?
Yep, and opening it on weekdays. So, for example, one of my tenants is a teacher, and she wasn't able to work on Saturday and Sunday, but she could work on the weekdays.
Okay.
Now that the lockdown is in, now that's every day, I believe. But this was a few weeks ago, so I'm assuming the lockdown canceled all that.
Oh.
It's pretty messed up. We're going on trust by now. Trust
Okay.
for now, so.
Okay.
All right, enjoy the rest of your 200th episode, boys.
Thank you
and
so much. God bless you, and I wouldn't be here if it was for you.
girls. All right, you have a good day.
God bless.
Have a
Bye.
good night. Bye-bye.
That's our man from Japan on the show. Eyes and ears on the ground in Tokyo. All right, so let's get Steve the plumber. Where is this guy here? Where is this guy? Oh, somebody asked me where I lived in Mexico. I lived in the state of Guerrero. I lived in Guerrero, Mexico. I lived 2-hour drive from Acapulco. I lived an hour away from Cuernavaca, Morelos. I lived 45 minutes away from... Is it Iguala? I can't remember. Yeah, Iguala. I lived 2 hours from Chilpancingo. All right, let's go to... where the hell's Steve? He's under my favorites. There he is. Steve, turn on your Skype! There it goes.
Hola, ¿cómo estáis?
Oh, look, it's Mr. Mexico in the house. How you doing, buddy?
Mexico.
Steve? Steve, are you there? Oh, we lost him, man. See, try it again. Steve, man, you're breaking up bad, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. You're breaking up. Where are you?
I'm actually on the way home, buddy.
Oh, you're in transit.
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I could hear you. Okay, buddy, go ahead. Tell us what's going on. This is the 200th episode of Trends in the Housing Market.
Wow, that's impressive. 200 shows. That's pretty good, Mike. Congratulations, I think.
Well, I try to warn, not even warn, or address this major issue we're having. So maybe if I break out in song and dance once in a while when I'm reading articles, people might get it.
Yeah. 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 Well, I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
How are things otherwise, Mike? How's your family?
We're doing good. I just put up a punching bag in our storage room, and I've been hitting the bag for a while, practicing some karate, teaching the kids karate and all that stuff.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah, you get to spend a lot of time with your family, and that's really good. I've never actually said that to you, but I think it's admirable that you really put your family first, and you're not all about the almighty buck. So that's
no, almighty buck could only get you gas to get to El Pueblo, and that's it.
Absolutely. Someone said something to me the other day, and it's a friend or a mentor of mine who's I guess in his mid to late 50s. So he's older than us, Mike, but at the same point in time, he said, living the dream is, it's concocted, if you will, of many things. But living in your dream house doesn't necessarily mean it's, the Taj Mahal. Your dream house is a paid-for house with no mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really good, Mike. You left the rat race, and you went ahead and you bought a house free and clear, and now you actually get to enjoy your family, and your kids will remember this.
Oh, I know. And family is everything. Family, people don't understand how important. Well, everyone knows that. I don't have to stress it. People know how important family is and what family means, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know everything changed when I had a family, and my own family, that is. So, I mean, it's you start making decisions, and completely different. I guess that's why, your car insurance goes down. I don't know, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, where I lived in a small town, my car insurance did go down quite a bit, and the cost of living just went down because I don't drive as much, so I'm not burning so much fuel. I drive maybe 85 to 150 kilometers a month.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the chances of you getting into a car accident are very, very slim to none. It's just one of those things where I drive every day. One could argue that I actually don't even work. I drive more than I work.
You do. Not lately, because I think COVID has unclogged the streets, hasn't it?
Oh, Mike, it's been a dream. It's probably brought things back to like the early 2000s, where you could get from one part of the city to the other. You know what I mean? From Mississauga to Scarborough or Whitby, if you will, out that way, and in Ontario, that is, or the Greater Toronto area. From east to west in like 25-30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That's actually unheard of.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, and that's not even taking a toll, the 407 toll route.
Ah, okay. It's not taking the 407. I get it. I get it. Yeah, toll roads are expensive, and they're only good when it's congested, right? And the 407 is going to lose money now.
Yeah, are they ever? That's that's kind of crazy. But I mean, you know what? It's one of those things where a lot of people are going to lose money. A lot of people are losing money as we speak, and that's a big concern. But it was bound to happen. This correction was always going to happen. It's just a situation whether it was going to be later on in 2020, throughout 2021. But this COVID-19 is definitely not the cause, but the trigger, as I've said many times before, and it's just really, really accelerated this recession. And a lot of people are actually, figuring out where things are, and it's not good. I mean, we have over 500,000 people in Canada that had zero reserves.
I do.
You there, Mike?
I'm right here. I think things are going to get a lot worse before they get better because every time, I don't know what the deal is with Ontario, but they keep announcing that it's tapering off. Cases are going down with the whole COVID thing. But the problem is the cases are going down because they're no longer testing as much as they used to. But Quebec, cases are skyrocketing through the roof because everyone's getting tested.
Yeah, well, that's all changed today, Mike. Dougie Ford was on there and he on the news, and he was really pissed. And it's one of those things where there was a considerable amount of a jump in cases today. I'm sure somebody in the comments section has those figures readily available. I don't want to, overindulge here and say something that isn't true, but it was substantial. And more people are dying in Ontario than obviously last week. We have senior homes in Bob Cajun in the Kawarthas, Mike.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like 24 or anyways, 20 or 30 seniors are dead now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But I mean, things are happening, bit by bit. And unfortunately, we're starting to see, as many people have said, including the McChronicle, he had said that, risk happens fast, and he's absolutely correct. I got to give him credit there. He's a brilliant mind, and he knows his stuff. And he's also said, banks are pricing in risk, and that's what's happening right now. You don't have to be an economist or, a dumb plumber to figure that out. At the end of the day, they're pricing in risk because risk happens fast. And that's what's happening right now. Home equity lines of credits are actually being, revised down to 10 to 20% of the original loan amount. I have personal friends that had $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 lines of credit, and they've evaporated by about 80%, 90%. And some of those guys are actually laid off, Mike, and they were, fully intending, to weather the storm and run up their heat locks a bit just to get through things. And the bank had said, well, listen, you really only use $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of your home equity line of credit, your heat lock here. So unfortunately, we're just going to take, $150,000, $180,000 away, and we'll give you $20,000 to $50,000 worth of a heat lock secured underneath your house. And they don't have to have a reason. They're pricing in risk, and they know that the house that secures that heat lock with respect to it being an asset is declining daily.
So okay, hold on a sec. So yes, they're pricing in risk, but not only that, they're deleveraging homes that don't have the ceiling for it or the equity levels to support that transaction.
Absolutely, for sure. They're doing that. So I mean, if you did have $100,000 $200,000 line of credit, and you only use 10% of it, 20%, even 50% of it, they will go ahead and they will, they're not so much, you can't use the term calling it because they're not calling it in its entirety. They're not, in the term call means anything that you owe, they want back now. They're not advertising it. Well, they are for some. They are advertising heat locks if they're fully, leveraged.
I own a
But in
big
this
chunk of the Bank of
particular
America
case,
building and
the heat
1290
lock
Avenue
was
of the
used
Americas.
once, twice, 3 times a year, for in APEX or something had come up, or they needed an emergency repair done on the quite have it. You know what I mean? So they use that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 worth of their heat lock. But yeah, they no longer have these larger heat locks. And this isn't everybody, but this is slowly but surely happening because banks are trying to control risk. They know what's going on here. And there's other situations too. Gary Madero sent me something today, and it was brilliant. And you should see the actual reaction that it got from many, many, many people with respect to, realtors chiming in, a number of different people chiming in. But I mean, at this point, you did hear what Scotiabank did with the heat locks, correct, Mike?
Yeah, I brought it up in the at the beginning of the show.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty crazy. And at this point, I've made a call on that, and to add on that, people with new builds, example, they own a house right now, and they have a heat lock, and they've gone ahead and they've bought another house that they fully intend to move into for the purposes of their principal residence. Subsequently, they look at it as a speculation property or some sort of an investment property because they actually haven't sold their existing property. So they can no longer use their heat locks to fund that deposit structure on that condo or that new build, where they needed, $25,000 down, for, in terms of 25,000 times 5 or times 7 deposit structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get to that 150K down.
Continue.
You there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm right here listening.
Yeah, I mean, with respect to this whole thing, I mean, we're going to have a very, very unique jobs report. Francis Donald brought something out. Again, Gary had brought it to my attention. Francis Donald is the chief economist or chief strategist with Manulife. And the consensus is not great. At this point, we're going to have, another 500,000, jobs lost. City today, City Financial has basically gone on BNN and said that they're actually predicting 1.1 million people to be out of work, in terms of the anticipated job report that's coming out.
That's what they're anticipating. Yeah. Hold on a sec. We got Rand Ross who sent me $20 on Super Chat, and he has a question for you.
What a rich guy.
Huh?
What a rich guy.
$20. Now, with all the Super Chats I
Mike.
collected today, I have enough gas to get to Seattle right now.
Really?
I do. I legitimately have enough gas to get to Seattle, like downtown Seattle. Okay, Rand Ross is asking, do you think banks will continue to loan to people with high credit scores, or will they be cut off too?
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to answer that, because I kind of have the overall, I guess, I have the overall picture in terms of the new world of lending. Ron Butler had put this out, and I can't remember for the life of me who sent this to me. But Ron Butler put out a few things in terms of, the new beginning. And just for your listeners and what your listeners need to know, this is from April 2nd. So it's very recent. And, in terms of the new world of mortgage lending, they've already started to tighten up lending, and they've already started to scrutinize people's employment in terms of classification. So if you're, in the restaurant business, or you're in travel and tourism, or you're a pilot, or, you're a manager of a hotel, you're not getting a mortgage right now. End of story. You do not have employment that is viable at the current moment.
Yeah, so
Nobody's
right
staying
now
in
people
hotels.
won't be getting because they can't verify employment. Because one, if let's say it's an unsecured loan, right? An unsecured loan, you got to bring in pay stubs and you got to verify employment, right? So
it's actually,
yeah, you got to verify employment. So regardless, right now, even with a high credit score, they ain't gonna touch you So unless you have. Unless you have at least maybe 50% to put down, they might work with you.
well, they might if it's private funds.
Yeah,
But
private funds. Yeah, 50% to put down. I think they might help you out for a mortgage, but for an unsecured loan or unsecured line of credit, because they can't verify employment, I don't think they're allowed legally by the banks to allow them to lend that money legally because they can't verify employment.
That's right. Absolutely. Underneath the recourse laws of mortgage laws in the province of Ontario and other provinces, excluding Alberta and Saskatchewan, because Alberta and Saskatchewan, they do not have recourse to go after anybody that defaults if there's a deficiency.
Right.
But that said, you're absolutely right. Private money might do it, but private money's gone. Private money, I mean, it is probably 12 plus 6, 12 plus 8 right now.
Yeah.
You're paying 18 to 20% for private money, or they're not doing the deal.
Right.
And a lot of hedge funds, in terms of the redemptions, they're not allowing redemptions right now.
No.
So the private lease is done. But to answer that question in terms of their, Ron Butler put out a tweet in terms of the new world of mortgage lending. He says it began today, not for teachers or for Loblaws managers or for police officers with good scores, but for realtors. And here goes. So in terms of realtors, I don't care what you made the last 2 years. We need to wait and see what you make this year before we refinance your house.
So they want to get to find out, because now there's a turn in the road, right?
Absolutely. He goes on to say 677 credit score. No, sorry, we don't provide mortgages for anything less than 720 today.
Right.
You want a heat lock, home equity line of credit? Oh, sorry, we've withdrawn that product from our line.
Yeah, it no longer exists. Hold on, we got the Lloyd here who sent me $10 Canadian. Now I have enough gas now with this extra $10 to get me to Salem, Oregon. Anyways, so the Lloyd is saying, how do you think Alberta will fare after the COVID-19 oil price crisis subsides? You're going to see a lot of, let me answer this one because I am buying and selling oil. I bought oil when it reached to $19-ish, $20-ish a barrel. I jumped on the bandwagon then, week and a half ago, and I'm in the green right now. But if the COVID subsides and everything goes back to what it was, you'll see a $55 to $65 barrel, because right now Russia is kind of working with OPEC and all the other basket of nations, kind of working things out right now. We have this problem with oil, not because, we have an oversupply. That's one thing, but we have this problem with Iran, Russia, and Saudi Arabia, and all these other oil countries that they can't figure out or come to terms on how much oil they should cut back to keep the price of oil at a fair price. Is oil going to go back to 65 a barrel? Yes. Maybe by next year, you'll see that again. If you jump on the wagon early, but you might still see a drop. And I've even heard a rumor that you might even see negative oil prices. Yeah, you heard it here first. Negative oil prices. Yeah, I'm not making this up.
Yeah, in Alberta, I could absolutely.
What's that?
I said in Alberta, I could absolutely hear and see that happening, and it's kind of crazy. So was that person in the live chat asking where Alberta's going to be economically speaking?
No. How do you think Alberta will fare after the crisis, COVID-19 oil price crisis subsides? Well, oil prices will go back to 60, 65 bucks a barrel. And I always have a little bit in oil, Steve. And I've told you this, Steve, so many times. Why do I have a little bit invested in oil? Why, Steve? Do you remember what I told you many times?
Mike, I can't remember. I'm sorry.
In case we go to war.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if we go to war, you're going to see gold go back to 120 bucks a barrel, like literally overnight.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And getting back in terms of, the way that lending is, if you want me to finish off, I will, Mike. I'll just
hold on. I got a question for you from somebody else. From Atta Ugorsi sent me $5, is asking, what if you're refinancing a mortgage? Will it be hard if you've been paying with no problems?
Okay, so yes, it's one of those things where it comes down to capacity to repay.
That's
and
right.
What your current situation is. And it's been said by Ron Butler as well in terms of refinancing. How do I put it this way? They're going to refinance your home as long as you have a job, but they're changing the way that they do things. They're going to consolidate your debts. If you need to consolidate your debts and or refinance your mortgage, that's okay. But they're going to cut up all of your credit cards and pay off all your car loans. That's what's happening right now.
A full consolidation.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's one of those things where, they're not going to consider electrical or plumbers' incomes until, you're back to work. And the same thing goes for your hairstylist income or your independent physiotherapist income, so on and so forth. Now, that's not all banks. And that's not all clients, but as he said in his tweet or whatnot. But it is most banks. I would say it's about 80 to 90% of banks are following suit here.
So when you go into Atta Ugorsi, if you go to your bank and ask them or you could call them, I would call them first before you go in person, so you don't make a trip down there, and ask them, hey, you guys doing that full consolidation I heard about, like other banks are doing? And they'll probably take a look at what you're sitting at, and you said you made payments with no problems. They'll probably refinance you and maybe pay off a student loan, a couple of credit cards, just to put you on a better, more consolidated pattern. And you're not paying a blended rate anymore, and you're not paying. When you're paying a blended rate, you're paying interest here, interest here, interest here. And if you could just pay one interest rate, then you're kind of more under control, in control of your finances.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to remember, Mike, that 500,000 people, more than 500,000 Canadians, applied for mortgage deferral, and that was just in the first 2 weeks of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't even want to know what those numbers look like for April.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But it's well past 500,000 now.
Yes.
And at the same point in time, you got to look past the layers. That basically means 500,000, people that had mortgages in Canada, Canadians have, no job or reduction significantly in income. And that means that they have zero savings and they have no investments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do you mean? They don't have a little bit of money in oil?
No.
Or gold?
They don't
Gold?
have money. No, absolutely not. They don't. They have nothing unless those people are actually lying to their lender. But I don't know why you would do that, because that mortgage deferral is going to end up bite you in the arse, because it's all compounded interest. And if you didn't have the money to pay your mortgage today, okay, what makes you think you're going to have the money in 2 months, 6 months from now? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got Living the Dream is asking here. I was planning on buying a car in a few weeks. Should I go ahead? You're gonna wait, buddy. You're not buying nothing, and if you're not buying a car,
no, don't buy a car.
You're not buying a car right now, buddy. Sorry. One, you got nowhere to go to because everything's locked down, right?
Yeah.
Unless he wants to poop the scoop and take off to Mexico, then I would say buy it, right?
Well, that's true. I mean, right now it's don't pay for 120 days. Okay, we'll defer your payments for 120 days. Oh, you wait. They're going to defer your payments for 6 months. Then they'll do it for 12 months. Okay, then it'll be like, pay whatever you can. Okay, we have so much goddamn metal that we have to move. It's not even funny. But yeah, that's the other thing is you don't want to take on debt in a crisis that you don't have to, and at the same point in time, you don't want to take on debt in a recession. And this recession is going to be way worse than 2008 because of the debt load. It's going to be astronomical. If anybody thinks that house prices are going to rise in Canada, they need to get their head examined. And you know what? If they're members of organized real estate, I'm really sorry for them. But you know what? We're going to see a mass exit from, of real estate agents very shortly, because a lot of people will not go ahead and choose to pay that 15.
Okay, guys, hold on.
That 1,500.
Guys, can you stop swearing in the comments, please? Stop swearing in the comments. All right, continue.
Okay. Yeah, anyhow.
They're not swearing
yeah,
at you, Steve. It's just a bunch of people getting upset and swearing here. Guys, stop swearing. I'm going to get my video flagged. All right, continue.
So in any event, I was saying a lot of real estate agents are going to be leaving the industry because they're not going to be able to make a go of it. It's already saturated in the greater Toronto area, but you also have to remember, Treb and a lot of other boards are all trying to pump up this narrative that, houses are selling, this and that, so on and so forth. Because they don't want to lose the confidence of the buyer, which has already left the building. But what they're also trying to do is they're trying to collect all those dues from their desk fees and their Ontario regulation fees that amount to about $1,500 to $2,000. I don't know the exact amount, but I know that they are due in basically June, July, and August. So it's right around the corner. And a lot of those people a lot of those agents are going to be like, there's no way. I don't even think I'm going to sell a house this year. And a lot of them, already don't sell any real estate and their licenses are inactive. But in any event, moving forward, we have to look at the big picture here. And, there's, we have over 500,000 people that are out of, basically guaranteed out of work and insolvent right now, based on the overall numbers of mortgage deferrals. Okay, I could get down to the nitty gritty of what bank did what, so on and so forth. Like, for example, I think it's CIBC had 250,000 of those mortgage deferrals. Now, I don't know if all of them were approved, but in any event, we have to look at the big picture, Mike. And the big picture is, let me ask you this. What are the chances that those 500,000 people that got mortgage deferrals for the next 6 months, what are the chances that they're going to get their jobs back within the next 6 months?
46% chance.
Okay, so again, I'll ask this to you again. What are the chances that all 500,000 of those people,
all 500,000?
Yes, all of them.
All of them? Like less than 5% chance that all of them...
Zero.
No, well,
Zero.
there's a less than 5% chance of 500,000 of them. Okay, maybe 1.5%. Yeah, zero. Okay, fine.
Zero. It is physically impossible that all 500,000, okay, even if you want to just chop it in half, 250,000, okay, it is physically impossible that 250,000 of those people in the next 6 months will return to work. All of them will not return to work. If there is a 0% chance that will happen. Now, you might get out of those 500,000 people.
Wait. Take a step back. We might have to go in and start producing our own goods.
That's fine. That's not a problem, Mike. But in the next 6 months, I mean, that's not that's not going to happen in the next 6 months. I know that a lot of retooling is happening, and I know that, you know, Lucky Sperm, you know, Mr. Trudeau has now had to realize that, you know, his country's in a very vulnerable position.
Hold on. Wait, stop talking. Wait a minute. You just said that Mr. Trudeau just realized something?
Well, yeah, he had to put away his sippy cup and his coloring book and start to try to run the country, Mike.
Wait, he realized something. Oh my God! Now we're going to war now. If he realizes something, we got Ata Urgorsi saying a lot of people in trouble with Airbnb, 2 or more mortgages. Yeah, Airbnb is goodbye. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm gonna buy an apartment for overpriced, and I'm gonna Airbnb the crap out of it. Woo!
Yeah, these get-rich landlords or get-rich-quick landlords. It's actually quite funny. They wanted a bailout, and even members of Parliament in Toronto Council, you know, they just said no, it's not happening. This is ridiculous. You're not getting a bailout. They already know the condo market's going to hell in a handbasket. The condo market, you're going to see. You know, just as a direct result of what Scotiabank did today, and all other banks will follow suit.
They have to.
Nobody's going to make good on their deposits. These condos are the condo market is going to tank.
Mm-hmm. Living the Dream says, noticed a lot of furnished condos for rent in the market lately, probably because it used to be Airbnb. That's correct. Now, let me fill you in on something. You know, right now in Australia, they have 112% oversupply on their market right now.
Yeah. and you know what, Mike? You remember when people said, you know, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You know, there's no problem. We have a supply problem. They need to build. They need to build.
My favorite is, let me put my glasses on. When that real estate agents were saying, if you don't buy now, you'll never own.
Yeah, it's actually quite funny. Now we're actually going ahead and we're actually seeing what the real problem is, Mike. We don't have a supply problem, Mike. That supply problem is going to revert fast and hard. We have a problem with lending money out to at least 500,000 Canadians that shouldn't be into the market, that don't even have $2, okay, or $200, okay, to rub together. They should not be homeowners. They should have never been given mortgages. That's the problem.
And not only that, they should stop bailing out the airlines because local Canadians aren't jumping on planes to fly to places. That's just shoveling in more and more people to bring cash into they see the governments keep bailing out the airlines so they get more foreign money into the country. They're using our tax money. They're using our tax money to bail out airlines that Canadians don't fly on because they're $200 away from insolvency to bring in more cash.
That's right. So at this point, there is a method to the madness. And unfortunately, Mr. Trudeau is probably going to relax the immigration laws and try to do what he can because, I mean, you can try to bring in foreign money. And I'm not saying that foreign money is not going to come in, okay, illegally. But at the same point in time, there's provisions in place now where they can't do what they say they can do. I know that there is a handful of Asian buyers right now that would love to go ahead and buy certain properties because they're of the opinion that it's a great deal and, you know, it's going to go to the moon. Similar to Kevin Thompson. But anyhow, I think Kevin Thompson's coming around because he's in a little bit of financial hardship himself. But I digress.
I love China.
The situation is they can't get the money out of China. And they can only get so much out at a time. And that's what the current problem is right now, where they couldn't get any money out because of this COVID-19. Like everything stopped. The entire economy over there stopped. So as a direct result of that, I've been told that there is a very, very good chance that China will actually go ahead and start calling or demanding their money back.
I love China.
From their citizens.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna happen. It will happen. There's no reason why it wouldn't happen, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but listen, I think we need to get one thing straight here. Like in terms of house prices declining and receding, whether they go back to 2008, 2009, 2012 pricing, whatever it may be, we needed this reset. And housing, with respect to an asset class, needs to be more in line with wages.
yeah, we
with the
discussed
Canadian
this.
proper.
Average wage earners own average waged homes, a 3-bedroom bungalow, and then average wage earner moves up at work or gets a raise. Then average wage earner has a few kids and moves up to a bigger home and sells first home. Average wage earner moves up to the higher middle class area. That's how it works. It's called building wealth. Now we've been building death. Average wage earner does not own average wage home because average wage home is $1.6 million. And that same home in New Mexico, 90 grand.
Yeah, they own debt. They're enslaved, and that's what we don't want. So house prices are going to come back into reality because they must. As it sits right now, I will tell you and disclose to your listeners that the unofficial numbers so far ready to go as soon as the courts open up. Once COVID-19 is kind of sort of tamed and the courts can open back up. As it sits right now, the count between the big 5 banks, okay, as it sits right now, the toll as of Monday, as of Monday, was 3,500, okay, properties that were ready to be filed for the purposes of foreclosure or power of sale, whichever way you want to call it. 3,500 properties in Ontario.
That's a lot of properties to be filed. So there's gonna start mounting up over time, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, it's one of those things where I don't think that the banks are going to kick people out. I think they will go ahead and secure their position and do what they need to do. If this number grows and grows and grows, they're not going to kick these people out. They're going to keep them in the home. Try to take care of them, pay what you can, so on and so forth. The house will absolutely go up for sale. It must go up for sale. But the bank doesn't, make no mistake, banks and lenders, they don't want to be homeowners. They want to lend their capital out and get a return on their investment, secured underneath real estate. They're not going to hold on to the asset and hope that, it comes back and, wait for some rich Asian person to come over and, overpay for a property and do this and do that. No, that's not what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen is they're going to liquidate these properties for fair market value. And what fair market value is what the Canadian proper is willing to pay for it.
Exactly. Average wages by average home. We're not looking at wealthy. Forget the wealthy. Average wages. If you can't get into an average condo, like an average 1-bedroom condo for $130,000, then because that's what the average wage is supposed to give you, right? Because the average wages haven't been keeping up with inflation, we're screwed.
Well, I mean, at this point, we got 3,500 homes that are ready to go between the big banks once the courts open up in Ontario. I cannot make reference to any other province, but 3,500 are basically ready to go. Obviously, that list is going to grow, and Ontario is a big place, ladies and gentlemen. So don't get too excited. But that just gives you an idea of where things are at. But that number is going to grow substantially, and it's going to continue to grow. But I mean, we're going to have a transformation here. We're going to have a lot of people that are over leveraged become renters. They're going to lose their house and they're going to have to become renters. But guess what happens? The majority of the reason why people rent in the Greater Toronto area is a direct result of them not having enough of a down payment. They probably have some sort of a down payment saved, or at least they did before COVID-19 happened. And they probably had good jobs. But what's going to actually end up happening is those tenants will now become homeowners because those tenants and their down payment will now be enough to get into a house.
Yes.
As house prices recede and decline back to where they need to be, okay, you will now see renters that could never afford now become homeowners.
I
and
love
those
China.
homeowners that are way over leveraged, they will now become renters.
Oh my God, Steve, you know what that sounds like? The American dream.
That's pretty funny.
It's true. That's the American dream. Right there. Yep.
Yeah. It's it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, there's a number of different things that you need to look at, and listen, the average real estate agent has no idea how a real estate market even works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you didn't sell real estate in the late 80s, early 90s, you have no idea what the heck you're doing.
Yeah.
And I've been told that there is a very predominant realtor in the Greater Toronto area that is on mainstream media, news, so on and so forth, and has, you know, all this information about, house prices are up 60 or 80% year over year, you know, so on and so forth, and made a direct correlation to February of last year to February this year. And it's just like, all right, well, what did February this year not have in common with February last year?
Diversity is our future.
No,
I'm joking.
Well, that's whatever helps you sleep at night, Mike.
I love China.
No,
I'm just reading the comments here. Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Continue, Steve. Yes.
February 2020 and February of 2019 have one thing that doesn't make them capable or compatible to having year over year, you know, correlations, if you will.
Well, wait till March comes out and we'll see year over year.
Absolutely. But one fundamental thing, we had an extra day in February. So you can't go ahead and say February over February. That extra day, all of a sudden, you could have had, you know, in the Greater Toronto area, 10 or 15 houses, 20 houses. That changes the whole dynamic, first and foremost. Not to mention, you know, everybody to say, oh, yeah, you know, sales are up 80% year over year, or, you know, 80 or 60% year over year. You know, houses, you know, have sold. And it's like, you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, that can't possibly be true, because you didn't have a whole bunch of first-time buyers or buyers come into the market. You had people exchanging real estate. They bought bigger homes or they bought smaller homes. You didn't have an influx. So you can't say that sales are up 80%, because that doesn't mean anything. Okay?
Yeah, because the Canadian proper is not getting in the market.
Well, that's just it. And whoever's in the market are making lateral moves. So that number is absolutely hogwash. It means absolutely nothing. All that means is somebody made a lateral move. They got transferred from one part of the city to the other, or they downsized, or they upsized.
Or, Steve, even if they live in the country, because sometimes these people are just moving around homes and they don't even they've never been in Canada.
Absolutely. But that's the whole thing. Like, you know, all this data is there to support the narrative that the housing market is healthy and alive and well, average selling price, so on and so forth. It's all a bunch of hogwash. Those metrics cannot be supported, okay, with actual fundamentals and principles. They are made up by organized real estate for the purposes of selling real estate.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. And, you know, if somebody wants to challenge me on that, they can, but I'll probably go up one side of them, back down the other. But in any event, the situation is we're in a recession. We're going to hopefully not go into a depression, because that's going to be awful.
Mexico. M. Howden, hold on. M. Howden in the comments. I know someone who lives in Mexico. Total living expenses, including rent, utilities, and food, $3,600 a year. And it's probably nice weather, right? And the booze is cheap, and just tons of.
Mike, if we move down there, how much? Just imagine how much cocaine we could have, man. Okay.
Tony Montana. No, actually, if you're caught with drugs in
everywhere.
Mexico, they'll kill you. Apparently. Yeah. Luckily, I don't do drugs, so I really don't give a crap. I'm high on life, people. I'm high on lemon water.
Oh, I'm just joking around, Mike. But in any event, what else did you want to talk about, Mike?
Dude, I'm falling asleep. How long have we been talking, dude?
I have no idea. I wasn't. Anyhow, we can leave it there.
No, let me just check here. How long have we been talking? Where's our call? I think I lost our call. Holy crap, we're talking 45 minutes.
Wow, Mike. That's it's interesting. Well, if there isn't any other comments in this section, then I will. We can definitely leave it there. It was a good show. Again, congratulations on.
Hold on, we got Randall Alexander saying 120,000 people let go in the BC film industry.
Yep, that's very true.
Yeah, M. Howden saying yes, there's gangs, but no, gangs are not everywhere in Mexico. Trust me, Mexico's a big country. Mexico's really big. I lived there for 2 years. Okay, I lived in the state of Guerrero, and that's supposed to be like the big. Not the Sinaloa, the Gulf, not the Gulf cartel. Who are the other guys there? Sinaloa, Gulf. There was another cartel there, and I didn't have any problems. And I went all kinds of weird places too, like places tourists never go to.
There you go. Oh, Mike, there's actually the RBC CEO today, I believe. Went ahead and he commented that banks can't take ever-expanding risk in pandemic turmoil. So they're already laying down the laws here and really, truly making people understand that there is a line in the sand that you can't cross, and banks aren't going to, are definitely not going to do that.
No. Scotty Morrison in the comments says it's the Los Zetas cartel. Yeah, Los Zetas. Like General Zapata from the southern part of Mexico during the Mexican Revolution. Anyways, yeah. So you know what, Steve? Let's talk during the week sometime. Well, tomorrow's Thursday, but call me sometime during the week like you used to.
Yeah, for sure. It's been busy, and we're just trying to make ends meet here. I've actually had to lay off a considerable amount of people, and that upsets me. I'm probably going to have to do some more by the end of the month, and kind of everybody understands. I mean, everybody's getting laid off from wholesalers to other businesses, and I mean there are there are actual businesses out there that aren't just going to open back up.
No, I know.
They probably
a percentage of them are. That's correct.
Yeah, and you got to remember the retirement. A lot of entrepreneurs are very close to retirement, and they're probably going to say, you know what? What's the point of working for the next 2 or 3 years to dig myself out of this hole? They're going to go now. They're going to pack it in and say enough's enough and be done with it. They're not going to work another 2 or 3 years to dig themselves out of this recession and this hole, because no one's going to be spending money for a considerable amount of time. This isn't just going to be a light switch that somebody turns back on and everybody goes to spending, so on and so forth. People are going to be very, very worried about going to restaurants. Nobody's getting on, a cruise ship. No one's going to be going to all-inclusive resorts. I mean, travel and tourism in Vancouver and Toronto is dead this summer. Dead.
All right,
just
Steve.
Look at the impacts. They can't Caravana today.
Okay, they canceled Caravana. That was heartbreaking. Guys, there's somebody in the comments here called Area 51. This is actually a personal good friend of mine, Area 51. This is his channel, and I haven't seen him since the lockdown, but here's his channel. As a personal good friend of mine, if you guys want to check him out, just go there and subscribe. It's something a little bit different than what we're talking. He does a lot of toy reviews and stuff. He's a really cool guy, and he's given me a lot of sound advice over the last couple of years. So check it out, please. It's called Area 51. And please go there and just subscribe and watch a video, or, check it out. You might get addicted, because I get addicted to watching the videos and then I just watch them all type of thing and binge watch, And, yeah. Anyway, Steve, yes.
For sure. All right, Mike.
I
Well,
love
we'll
China.
leave it there. It's good to be with you, and thanks for having me on your show.
Steve, God bless you. We'll talk soon, I promise. Call me Friday or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, Mike.
Adios.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I've been here for like 4 hours. What time is it? 3 hours. It's time to 200th episode, guys, of Trends in the Housing Market. I want to thank everybody for being part of it. It's showing 189 videos here, and I'll explain why. Because I got like 40 videos deleted because some of it was going into heavy discussion about the Australian housing market, and a lot of that stuff got a lot of it got deleted. I'm over 200 episodes. I know I am, with the amount of deleted videos. The McChronicle, we'll have him on next week. Too tired to call, but happy 200th, Mike. Yeah, it's late there where he is.
I love China.
And, well, thanks, Mike. Have enjoyed our chats. Been missing us at the shop. Yeah, I know. Trust me. I went to the shop today and I had to go pay my PST. And I had to take care of some, pay my bills and stuff. But yeah, the comments are going by pretty quick now again. Yeah, I'm getting tired, guys. When you sit here for 3 hours, it gets on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Evan, you know what? I'll just do a show with Evan tomorrow, man. If Evan has some time, I know he's on lockdown. I don't know if he's on lockdown. I don't know if he's in jail. But if he's on lockdown, I'll just do a show with Evan. I'll just record a show with Evan. And we can just do that. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? M. Howden in the comments. Woo! Yeah.
I love China.
Yeah, guys, thanks for all the super chats. That's a lot of super chat today. I think you guys gave me enough gas. I'm not joking. To get to, I'll show you how far I could drive with the price of gas right now. From where I am, I'll show you how far I could drive. I'm here in Merritt. Let's zoom this thing the hell out. Right here. I'm in Merritt. So the amount of money I got in super chat today, I think it tells me here total. Hold on. Super chat received. Oh, it's not telling me. It's like blank. Okay, so it was about $90, and with the price of gas right now, from where I am, I could jump on the Highway 5 to Abbotsford, take the crossing here, the Sumas crossing, and that'll be enough gas. Right now, $90, yeah, easy. It would get me I could probably make it to Seattle now. I could easily make it to Seattle with $90 gas right now at the price of gas. And once you cross the border, the gas is a lot cheaper. So, like, it's actually cheaper. So I think you guys sent me enough money, because right now with the gas price, it'll take me $30 to get to the border in gas, and then not even $50 to get me to Seattle in gas. So thanks for the super chat, guys. Guys, I'm gonna do what I said. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do this this summer. If this COVID thing is gone, if it's not, then we'll do it next year. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 5-hour super chat show. You guys come on, give 1, 5, 10, whatever, super chat. I'm going to take that money exactly in super chat, and I'm going to drive with that much gas money. And I'll make a video every hour and show you guys where I am with the super chat gas money. So if you guys send me, let's say, $140, $260, for example, from all the people watching, I'll drive down and I'll see how far I could make it with the exact amount of gas money you gave me. And I think with the $130, I can make it to Salem, Washington right now with the price of gas. Or Eugene, Oregon. Redding, it's too far, Redding. And Sacramento. Yeah, Area 51 is 72 cents in town tonight, Mike. Yeah. Drive across Canada. I've driven across Canada a few times already. Quite a few times. But maybe I want to go America bound more, you know? There's gangs and stuff. Check it out, you know? And I speak Spanish, too. I could go to Mexifornia and talk to people, you know? Anyways.
I love China.
Thanks, Lupa. Thanks, Supreme Cannon. Thanks, Captain Nobody. Thanks, Tignim. Thank you, Randall Alexander. Thank you, Steve the Plumber. Do a 5-hour show tomorrow. Oh, no, man. I'm too tired, man. This takes a lot from you.
I love China.
It really takes a lot from you guys doing this. It really does. This isn't your local CBC or CNN. They go in, put some makeup, sit down. Oh, and now the news today, we have a tragic event story then you go to the next channel. In news today, we have a tragic event story. You go to the next channel. In news today, we have a tragic event story. And it's the same broken friggin' record. Anyways. Yeah, Mike, we got some business to do down in Barstow. We got a friend in the desert here. Here's Barstow. I'm going to show you guys where Barstow is. It's east. Where the hell is Barstow? It's like down here somewhere. It's like in the middle of the desert. Barstow, where are you? No, I don't think it's this far. Yeah, we got some business to do down in Barstow if we get down there. Every Canadian, head to the U.S. border now, says Captain Nobody. Thanks, Abafield. Thanks, everybody. I'm tired, guys. I'll see you guys on a Saturday night. Guys, don't forget to go here. Oh, don't forget to watch the series of, if you want to binge watch something, somebody asked me they want to binge watch something, watch the Merit Harassment series. It's really good. It's called the Merit Harassment series on my channel. And if you also want to check out, go to my home channel, go to the home, go down to Project Tabletop. This is a really good series I did, guys, where I converted the local drug den into a toy store, a game store. Please watch this series, guys. It's different from, get off that whole, this Covey thing. Get it off your mind. Just binge watch Project Tabletop. I promise you, you guys will like it. So good night. God bless. Remember, guys, stay safe. And if you can't, be careful. Thanks for watching.